Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
You know, that's just one step above stupid.
Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains?
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Wow, what happened to my camera there? It looks like it zoomed in on something. That's the dog camera. Hold on. It's like it's so far zoomed in there. Yeah, that's the frame. Hold on. Oh, I think it's just zoomed in somewhere. Huh. Weird, that's why it's all grainy. Well, it's not a giraffe. It's not a giraffe. Alright, well, this is another show, you guys. Another show. Trying to get the month started off right. Yeah, the camera must be zoomed in or something. For the dogs. Oh, I do have a picture of the dogs. You guys want to see them? They're all lined up on our... it's weird. They're all kind of the same color. Here, look at it. Look at these guys. Or girls. These two, by the way... isn't it weird how Chloe and Gracie sort of look similar now, but they're not really? I mean, this dog here, Chloe, weighs 3 pounds. She weighs like 9 or something. This dog is tiny. This one weighs probably 6 or 7, and that one. This is Clancy right here. And this is Benny. This is Gracie. And Chloe, she's the oldest one of them all. She's only like, I don't know, 6, I don't even know, to be honest with you. 6 or 7 maybe, something like that. Let's see, where's the other one? Oh yeah, then there's another one, same shot, just a little different. Look at that face. She always makes that face, but I guarantee you that Chloe here is part whatever, like, what are they called again? Man, that's crazy. But I think this Chloe is part this, and apparently she's part Chihuahua too, or something. And Benny's a long-haired, and Clancy over here is short hair. Yeah, Maltese. There you go. Yeah, so like I think Chloe's part Maltese. I mean, you can just tell by looking at them, right? They're very similar. But anyways, thought you guys would want to check them out. You probably haven't seen them for a while. They're all the same general color though. They're like a pack of cream colored. Yeah, I think Chloe might be like part Yorkie and Maltese, not Chihuahua. That's what they said. That's right. Chloe's definitely part Yorkie, but it seems like the Maltese seems closer than a Chihuahua. But she's so little though, you know, so maybe she's like a what do you call it? A toy version of the Yorkie, whatever. But hey guys, we're doing another show tonight. We're currently at 0 after all the hard work I've been putting out there. So we got to get the support started on the show here. We got to reach the goals again. We're currently at 0 all the way across, and you guys know that on this channel I try to raise funds every single night because we also give away thousands of dollars every month at the end of the month, and we've given $255,000 out since January of 2020. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel in our, the stuff that we do here and my channel itself, that would be great. Yeah, get rid of this TK guy. He's not even here he's just being a dipshit. I mean, don't block him, just time him out. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how they were there. Yeah, teacup maybe, or miniature, whatever. I'm not sure what I'm referring to. Yeah, thanks. You like the animation work. There we go. Somebody finally helped supported the channel. Hey, there we go. We got Flora Poste. Hugs to your pups. All right. And by the way, somebody in the chat, it was Elena. She mentioned this idiot, one of the defense attorney YouTubers who have seen better days. They did. They actually said exactly what she said that they said. Some lady called in and didn't really quote exactly how I worded it. But called up another channel and said, hey, this guy named Grant Hughes Investigates, he thinks that, and it came up with this kind of weird description of it, of how I think that it's possible that the knife sheath was left there intentionally as a calling card. But she sort of worded it, I mean, it wasn't way off, but it wasn't quite right the way she said it. I think it's very possible either way. But I can argue both of them and make good points where a lot of people just can't do it. They go, oh, no, they get so tied up in their belief system on that it's accidental that they can't even see how rational it is that he left it there intentionally. But anyways, after she said that, he goes, oh yeah, don't ever watch that channel again. They don't know what the hell, it's like, what a clown. Who in the hell would say that for something like that? That isn't even like wow, what a crazy thing to say. Yeah. Thanks, Mystic Cauldron. Anyways, I hope anybody who saw that idiot make that comment that you commented underneath it. That is just... I sent him an email. I told him, you're a disgusting pile of shit, man. Who the hell do you think? I mean, what a ridiculous thing. I don't mind. Like, if I was out here trying to pretend that Kohberger was innocent and coming up with crazy conspiracy theories, I would expect to have comments made like that about me, but that's not what I do. I put out the factual information in the case, and there's a lot of facts that point to the possibility that he left the knife sheath there intentionally, and there's all kinds of facts too that point to it being accidental. I don't know what the answer is, neither does Bill Thompson or Thomas or Thompson, whatever the hell is Thompson. He doesn't even know. He says we believe, but he wasn't certain. I'm not going to say it was. Guys, he's one of the dumbest attorneys I've ever seen. I mean, like, he can't think his way out of a shoebox, nor does he ever come up with something interesting or creative on his own. I've seen him for years, but I just don't say anything. But you can forget it now. Any chance I get, I'm going to just lay into that. What a wacko thing to say. And I won't be the better person, or whatever you want to call it. All right, well, we are getting a really slow start tonight. Doesn't the work that I've been putting out recently deserve the support from the people watching the channel? That's what I would think. All right, and other channels don't give a damn. I do, because we make such a big difference out there. Let's see. Let me have this thing. I think the audio is almost down to 0 here. Oh, there it is. Why do you think he did the 2 3-point turns on his lady go around? Yeah, we've gone over that many times. I think it was the DoorDash driver. You know, he came in, he'd seen that there was other vehicles driving around, and he wanted to check. So after he drove by, he likely saw the lights on, maybe from Xana. This is at 404, almost 405. When he's driving by and he sees Xana's lights on, and he's like, what's going on there? So then he drives back behind and then does a 3-point turn behind and then drives in front, and he's looking over there. And he tries to stop and turn around even right there by 1112 King Road, and then he continues on to the intersection of Queen and King, and then does another 3-point turn because he's decided he's going to go for it anyways. And then he just drives right back and then parks. Now, we don't know what he did after he parked his car. Between the time he parked his car and going into the house, there could be as much as, 6 minutes before he went in. He parks at probably around 4:08:10, you know. That's probably when he actually literally the car stopped moving. And maybe he didn't go into the house for another 5 minutes or so. Because all the things that happened in that house could have been done very, very quickly, much quicker than a lot of people out there have said. Hey, thanks, Mary C. I don't give a shit about Turtle Boy, Brittany. I'm not even sure why you're bringing that up in here. Can you go somewhere else? Thanks. Let's see. I wonder if he covered his... This isn't going to be a day for the jokers, you know. I don't give two shits about Turtle Boy and an interaction. She's talked to me about it. It's just kind of funny. It's stupid. I don't care, okay? You know? What a dumb thing to bring up. It has nothing to do with this. I thought I heard they released crime photos today. Yeah, I made a video on it. April. Hey, why don't you go out and watch the video and then come back in, okay? All right, thanks. April for Trump. I don't understand how he didn't leave any bloody footprints. Because he likely didn't step in the blood. He stabbed them and killed them, and as they bled out, he's not there standing there. He's not letting it go on his feet. Right. Now I'm actually totally normal. These people are just nuts that come in here. It's wild. I thought I heard... Yeah, we've got the photos. One of them's even on the screen right now, April. Do you see that? That's actually literally a crime scene. I've watched all your videos. I just seemed weird because it was after the DoorDash driver left. Right. But he's, you know, look at... if you've watched them all, you would remember that... So when the DoorDash driver leaves at 4, it's 4 o'clock and like 45 seconds, it leaves. But he was right here at 4 o'clock and like 25 seconds or so. And he sees that there's still a car here. So he drove all the way around like this. All right? And he might, and he could have seen that she's behind him, but he might not have been sure. Because when he drove around at 4:01:25, he's driving like this. He's probably about right here. And then the DoorDash driver pulls out right there. So is behind him. And then he comes around like this and makes it all the way around. So when he comes back in, he wants to check again. And when he drives by, he likely looks up and Xana's light's on. So then he goes over here, does a 3-point turn, goes back this way, and then almost tries to like turn around or something right there. And then he continues here, does a 3-point turn, and then goes back this way, comes around, and then at 4:07 and 47 seconds, the headlights hit the top of this building right here, which is 1127 King Road, as it's turning. Now, somebody today said in the comments, well, Gray, if he parked way back here, if those footprints are his, then when the car is coming around and the headlights hit the top of this building, it wouldn't hit those, but I think it still would. Like, if you're coming back here and the car, as it's turning into the parking area, it would hit it differently, though. So we don't know. To me, I've always thought he parked right here, and he'd still probably want to walk up, kind of hidden back here, make his way back to his car, something like that. I don't know. But hey, guys, I need your guys' support. We are languishing at $9.99, which is 30th of the goals that we normally do on here. So if you guys could please help support the channel tonight, if you like the work that I do, maybe buy some memberships. We have 0 gifted memberships again. We got a whole bunch of people in here that are not members. It'd be great if you guys were doing that tonight. We have no coffees, nothing. All right. This needs to be one of those really good nights where we make some inroads on the crappy nights that we have. All right. The door was open because he left it open. I'm not sure what you mean, Ray. Yeah, I don't care about the black glove found by the dumpster. It's irrelevant to the case, has nothing to do with anything. It wasn't even there during the crime. Wasn't there. They checked photographs and it wasn't there. Lisa sent a coffee. It's just so weird when we have nights like this. I just don't get it. It's just wild. Hey, thanks, Allie K. I want to know if anyone was found on the Echo Dot. I have no idea what you're talking about. So anyways, I'm going to go back to this right here. We'll just start up here and go through the images again. Now, when you look at this image here, that one's not clear. See, that's what I hate about how they release these things. They did their own little editing and zoomed in and did whatever they're going to do. I think this is really weird, though, like how shiny the walls are. So this right here is a corner, and then there's a wall over there, and look how bright it is. I mean, and then this is a whole wall that goes right there, and it's shiny, and it even had reflective values from what was going on in the room. You see that? So the reality is that isn't part of the, you could literally draw a line right here, and that isn't part of what's going on in the room. This stuff right here is just a reflection that they blurred out also. Thank you. We got 3 channel memberships. All right, Allie Cake, Bridget, Andrea, and Curly Lock Diva. I know, just let me go over it, you guys. We'll get it all dialed in. You don't have to sit there and guess and wonder. All right. Now here's, I think this one's, not that one. Where's the clear? Yeah. Okay, we're just going to go back the same order that we've been going through. But this one is, I found there's another picture out there that this darkness here I thought was the dark mattress, the dark oval shaped rug that Xana had in her room, but it turns out that that is actually blood, this whole huge mass of red that's right there. And the reason I came up with that, now we'll have to find the other picture. We'll be coming up to that later, so we'll just skip it for now. All right, and people are wondering, that's also not the greatest shot of that. Hey, thanks, Kip. Kim, not your cup of tea. You're my cup of tea, though. You're my cup of tea. Wow, sad man. Are you a sad man, Brent? Man. I mean, you're just talking about sad, like... Your comment got removed, but I think you were just saying, man, this is sad, man. Something like that. All right, so I'm trying to read people's comments as if they're from a friend, I was told. All right, so this room right here, and what we should do is open up Photoshop in the meantime. So this is Kaylee's room right here. And right underneath this chair, this table there, is Murphy. Now Murphy's right in there. Now I have a better version of this. You can actually see the nose and the eyes in there. And then, you know, those are his feet. Those are paws right there. It's really kind of obvious. And I don't know. I think that's a shadow, or maybe that's I think that's just a shadow there. Thank you, Roger Sellers. But gray. Let me click. Oh, wait. Do I need to do this? Hold on. The screen's going to turn dark here in a second. Don't worry, though. I'm still here. I have to add in the thing that I can put the comments on the screen. There we go. And did that not work? Oh, I turned it off. There we go. But Gray, when are you gonna get merchandise? I want a shirt that says, I'm never watching again. Does it need to say boo-hoo? Yeah, should I put that at the end? I can't believe you had Gray on again, Vinny. I'm never watching again. Yeah. You want mugs or t-shirts for that? Which one? Which one? And then right above that was, Kim, not your cup of tea. Thank you. All right. Yeah, pretty soon, pretty soon. Got to find the time. Yeah. So there's really nothing of value in this image other than you can see that maybe somebody was in the bed here. Now, what I have tonight, I have all the descriptions of the crime scene. And do you guys think it would be interesting to go back over those newer release documents that describe it as we're sort of looking at the same scenes that they're looking at? We just don't have, apparently there's 200 images. We've only got like 12 or something. So these people, and here's something that's weird is Court TV and Law and Crime, they don't have access to these yet. And so what they're doing is Moscow PD is giving these to their local news places. Hey, thanks, Kim. You're my cup of tea, too. They give them to the local news and all the big networks. But you know what's weird, you guys? You know who I think should get them? Me. I mean, I'm not just saying that, but when I watch these networks and even the sub-networks, like the Law and Crimes and everybody, we covered this case like dramatically better than any of those people. Now, if you don't like me, you're going to say, oh, that's bullcrap, Gray. But it's absolutely true, man. We nailed everything. I mean, the stuff that we put together, that's why I was on some of the shows, because I was able to put things together that other people don't. And when we look at stuff, we just kind of just figured it all out. It's crazy. I mean, it takes a long time. You're sort of working together, like months, and then you sort of have this whole picture by the time it's done. And anybody that was on my channel watching for these 3 years, as the times we were covering the case, you would absolutely know the house inside and out. You would know the White Elantras movements inside and out. You would know all of the key things to a point where, it's crazy. Like, for example, the 1330 Linda Lane footage. There isn't one network that ever plays that footage. Like, they pretend that it's just sort of like it doesn't exist. And it's crazy. And the way they talk about things, they miss things. Now, I don't even want to say what I was going to say, but it's just, it's crazy. And so it's weird that they allow the people that do this sensationalistic journalism, especially like Dateline, for example. Man, I'm sure they have the images. Aren't they the same channel as the Today Show? I bet you they have the images right now. And that whole docu-series apparently was just loaded with garbage, So why are they like, ooh, let's reward those people? And they're the one that broke the gag order. Let's give it to them. Yay! It's just weird. Greg, I could not understand how he drove, etc. And your maps and 3D with this and Delphi literally made me understand really. Yeah, I mean, isn't that crazy? I think that does. The Delphi case is the same for me. Like, it just, everything falls into place once you see it all. Yeah, I cover all kinds of stuff, but right now I'm doing this. I've been covering Kohberger quite a bit lately because, I thought there was going to be a trial, and now all these documents and everything are coming out, and for me, it's one of the more interesting cases there's been in a long time, where some people can't stand the case, and they think, well, it's been, so I guess in some ways, the people that thought Chris Watts was really interesting, I never thought that was interesting at all. It's similar, like here's the documents, except this is different because there was 3 years where it was going to go to trial and we didn't have the information. The Chris Watts case, all of the information was given to everybody right away, and for some reason people kept covering that for like 5 years, even though it was literally all out there, like right away, within, just a short amount of time. Yeah, so I'm wanting to see all the different information. I'm trying to get all the different surveillance footage. I'm trying to get different interviews or whatever that are out there. And I just want to have everything so I can put it together the way it should be put together. It's just, even when the new surveillance footage came out, the way it was put out was not the way to do it, man. You got to upload the entire 53-minute video in full with no graphics on it. After you make your short one and explain, do how you want to do it, but then put the full one out there, because you missed a ton of stuff when you put it out the way you did it. You put it out there with your graphic over the top of some of the lights that actually were mentioned in the documents. Your audio zips through all the barking at the end. Like last night, we slowed down the video 6.6%, and it was regular speed, and you could hear Murphy barking for 45 seconds over and over and over again. At least we think that's Murphy. I mean, maybe there's somebody else there with a dog, and we just say that. He didn't get all the pictures, Gina. That's not true. He has the same ones that we all have. And don't mention that idiot on here again. Thanks. See, Murphy hiding there is so sad. Yeah. All right. So anyways, let's go on to the next one. All right. So right over here, there is a bunch of blood spatter. See that? This room right here is Xana's room also. And I think if I could go back and find some of the images that we found of Xana's room a long time ago, I remember this chair being in there, almost in that exact spot. So this is the window in the front of the house. If we go here to my 360-degree video that I took out there, maybe go to this position, a little bit before that, right there, turn around, maybe back a little bit. Yeah, so that room right there is Xana's window. That's the same window that we see right here. See that? That's also, if you look at my 360-degree video on this one, if we go, I think it's, might be at the end actually. Yeah, right there, that was Xana's room. So that's the same window right there, and Xana is on that rug right there. I try to make look almost just like the one that they have. She's obviously on her back, however, and maybe she's actually rotated slightly to the left. Maybe if I could rotate her, put her on her back, and maybe her legs are over there, something like that. But this window, and then obviously there's like a desk right here, and a little fuzzy chair right there, etc. So that's what we're looking at right here. And then if you look at this bag here, there's blood all over it. I mean, that thing is covered with blood right there. Then this Coors has blood. I mean, so there is a lot of blood right sort of consolidated in the rooms and around the crime scene. There just is almost none that we can see just looking in the hallways, the living room, the kitchen, the stairs. We don't have a lot of pictures of the stairs, but all those locations don't really have a lot of stuff. It's spatter, not splatter, and it's spelled, even splatter has 2 T's. Yeah, it's spatter, not splatter. Okay. S-P-A-T-T-E-R. Just so you'll sound more like when you say spatter, you sound like you know what you're talking about. I don't think he sat in a chair. Bill Thompson says he doesn't know what they're talking about when they say he sat in a chair. He doesn't see that. Are you sure what's spelled what way, Grant? It's spatter, not splatter. Let's see. I'm a Dexter watcher? Well, I did watch it years ago when it was out. What's that got to do with anything? The report said Xana's head was pointed towards the door. No, it didn't. It did not say that. It did not say that. It said Xana's head was facing the west wall and her feet were pointed towards the door. Where do you guys come up with this stuff? Come on. Come on, Dale. I don't know what this is over there. Might be a lot of blood over here. And maybe, you might be right. Maybe there's a mirror that actually shows stuff. You might be right. It's okay, Dale. It's, you know, there's so many different ways to look at stuff. But yeah, its feet are towards the door. Because I have her oriented correctly in this image right here. She's just supposed to be on her back. And looking at the crime scene photos that we see, like this one, it's not the greatest one in the world. I think, you know, knowing that the blood is right there, and this part here is actually that same rug. Hey, wow. Yeah, thanks, Karen. And Karen said, hold on, so let me do them in order. Do you think Bryan saw the DoorDash driver?
Chewbacca?
DoorDash. Yeah, I do. I do think he saw the DoorDash driver. I think 100%.
Do you think Bryan saw the DoorDash driver?
I do.
Sending greetings from Chicago.
100%. Oh, look at that. Bryan Kohberger, the detector. I'm a certified human ID detector. Gonna get you. Gonna search you. Even rambling like an old projector. Little going around about me and a crew about what we did was supposed to do. You might not heard, or maybe you have. When I first said all of it was black. Using it and Grant all that time. You say what you want to spell my name right. All of them is going to be black in the house. That's what the room was all about.
Great. Fantastic
There you go.
job on this case. You are the best.
I know that some of the old freaks have been showing up lately. Isn't that crazy? I've been noticing that some of the old freaks from years past are showing up, Zozo. And wish Zozo luck on her vacation, heading into a war zone. That's wow, that's genius. Anyways, just wish her luck. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just little skirmishes on the borders, you know, no big deal. My dog is like, what is that? Yeah, it's spatter, not splatter. Let's see. A war zone vacay. Oh no. Anyone else? Let's see. 3 sets of stairs. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one here. Oh, now hold on. Let me do this one. Great, fantastic job in this case. You're the best. Well, thank you, Kim. Not your cup of tea. Very kind, very kind. I'm just looking up that. Maybe it is kind of what Zozo was saying. I mean, that's what it says on the AI search. You know, there is these droplets can be large than 5 millimeters. That's 5 millimeters is pretty small. The droplets. Huh. That's weird. So I guess if you were referring up there when you typed in splatter, that it's one of the elements, like a different way of referring to it up there. So yeah, I just was looking at it on here. Right, you just looked put quotes around that, PMS. All right. So I guess spatter and splatter are both correct. All right, so I guess I didn't know that. Spatter is what, like blood spatter expert is the term. I don't think they say blood splatter expert. Hey, hold on a second. What am I looking at? Yeah. All right. Good. I'm not too late for the live. All right. I'm just going to keep moving through these again. Yeah, it's weird. There's a clearer version of that somewhere in here. Anyways, this is the stairs that go up. That's a linen closet there. Dylan Mortensen's room is right through this wall here. I'll make myself smaller here. And then the kitchen's right around this corner there. And this is the clear one. Which one is this? Now let's keep going. That's Kaylee's room. And you can tell a lot of information by the way the doors swing open. All right. Now this is Xana's room. And there's a lot of blood in this room here. I think it was a nightmare. And I think this might be Xana's room too. And I say that because of this wall or whatever this is. This is a door or a wall. Okay, now let me show you why I think that is, because if you go to Xana's room, it looks like this. That's how her door opens. It's just like that. And there would be space in here where, you might see the droplets like that. So I think that's a door in that image, don't you guys? Like that's a door there, and maybe that's a shoe that we can't see. And what are you looking at? Oh, sorry. All right, I'll do that again. Yeah, that always happens. All right, right here. So there is the door in Xana's room. See how it opens up like that? That's the way the door rotates. And by the way, in this image, I've put her on her back, and then I put him sort of the way they described him being, because they say his legs are off the bed. So I think they say that. So we're going to go read those again in a bit, just to kind of see, what are we looking at in the images? Maybe we can figure out, right? But see how that looks like that's a door that's open? And I think that is what we're seeing right there. And then here are droplets on the ground. Now, this right here, I think, is actually possible. I mean, I don't know if that's... what I'm saying is I don't think that's blood itself, but I think it looks like they drew on this... They actually colored in a completely blacked out area. And this might be like one of Xana's legs or something over here, or the whole huge thing of blood right there, but they wanted to show us this because that's too solid. You see that, you guys? I mean, that is absolutely incredibly solid. That's like an actual redaction, not a blur, but literally a redaction where they drew over the shape and filled it in with complete black. You see what I'm saying? That's not a piece of clothing. It's not anything like that. It's literally like there's something there that they're covering up. And it's interesting because I think it's sort of a small-ish type area. I mean, that's a shoe there. And if you remember, like these things here are what? 2.5 inches. So this whole thing is only like... So that might be a leg or a hand or something. Because see right there, that area right there is that is the rug in Xana's room. I know it's kind of a small thing. This is what I saw earlier when I was going over these again. That right there is the rug in Xana's room. I think it's like an image that Zozo sent me a long time ago. Do you have those still out there, Zozo? The images that we found. Can you find those for me real quick? Remember the images from Xana's room that we had? I don't know where I put them. They're probably in some folder somewhere. Hey, thanks, T-Ree. But if you have those, I want to go to Facebook and pull those up again. But that top part right there is the same as the rug in Xana's room. Thank you, Jules. 333. Yeah, with the rug and everything. Those two. Remember, there was two photos. One with Dylan, and they should be right next to our chat or whatever we had. If you can find those, and I'd be appreciative. And then inside of here, this is the kitchen, and see, that's a little different, that bag is, than how we saw it later. It was actually turned around, right? So so this is, I believe that these photographs that we're looking at are ones that were taken upon arrival before anything got like contaminated. And that's why I think the footprints outside, as I mentioned, and people watch my videos and they repeat the same things that I say on their shows. That's okay. That's just the way it is. But what would be nice though is if people, when they watch your videos and repeat the same things on their show, that they give you, the people who said it, credit when when they're doing that. I don't think they know for sure. Yeah. Let's see. All right, hold on. Let me see. I might have those images. I think those would be cool to look at right now. All right. Yeah, see, I think these are going to make a difference. Hold on 1 second. And we'll go back. Just got to get these two images real quick. Yep, exactly. All right, here we go. This will be interesting and make more sense now. So look, here is a picture in Xana's room, and that's just some friend that's over there. See how the door opens exactly how I had it there? See the carpet on the ground, this thing? And then there's the bed over there. It's got pink sheets on it. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the image. Now let's go back to it. This one right here, for example. See that sheet? That's what that is. And I do think that that right there is, that right here is that part of that rug right there. And then here's one of Dylan in the same room. See, there's that little seat that we just saw a minute ago, and there it is. See, look at that. That's the closet in the corner. Here, I'll show you right here. That image is from that angle right there. There's the closet in the corner, and that little fuzzy seat was right over here, and that's exactly what we see in the image. I just gotta go find it again. God, what happened to it? That's just sort of, it's hard to find now. There it is. All right, this one right here. See, there's the little fuzzy seat, and there is the... So I just want everybody to know exactly what we're looking at here, all right? See the fuzzy seat there, the thing in the corner, this desk, and there's a window, all right? And then when we go to this, there's the little desk in the window, there's the fuzzy seat, and there is the rug on the floor. Now I think it was more like this, kind of perpendicular, the ovalness of it, to the door. See, and there again, there's that. Let's see. And then there's also, so there's this image. There's that same rug on the ground. Now people maybe think he sat on, if he sat on a chair, it would have been that one. I don't think so though. But the pink, comforter or whatever you want to call that right there is probably the same one that you see on the bed with Ethan. Thanks Zozo for getting that. Yeah, so was that helpful at all? So now you know 100% sure. I'm not going to, I didn't plan to go to CrimeCon this year. I only go to CrimeCon if I have a booth. I plan to be here doing a trial, and so I just didn't plan it, and it's too late for me to. Again, that's Xana's room. I just wanted to prove to you guys that it is Xana's room. There's people that keep email me and saying, "Gray, the room with the pink blanket, that's Madison's room," and it just isn't, man. And you'd know it if you were in here. Now, because, again, I built the 3D model and everything, I was able to determine what room this was just off of this image right here. Okay, this is Madison Mogan's bedroom. And I don't know what this is up here. It looks like a mop. Might be like a goofy little face with a mop-like hair on it or something. No, I'm not going there. I'm not going to CrimeCon. But hey guys, if you're out there, we got a lot of people in here that aren't members. This would be a great night for the membership crew to get some memberships for people out there while supporting the channel. That'd be awesome. So this right here, this is the light switch as you come into Madison's room. There's only 2 rooms that any crime like stabbings happen. This cannot be Xana's room. And it isn't Xana's room, because if that was the same wall in Xana's room, there would be a drawing over here. It's not. So it's Madison Mogan's room. And see right here, can you guys see down in that lower right-hand corner? Can you see that? That color, it's tan, right? And so this again, we're going back now. This is, I don't know if Ethan Chapin's there or not in this picture. I know that there's probably blood. Look at on the wall there. There's a whole bunch of looks like arterial blood there, and on the wall there, like that's like really, a lot of blood that hit and then kind of dripped down. And then over here, there's even a smudge right there. I mean, it's just crazy. And this room right here, I think, is Dylan Mortenson's room. I'm not absolutely sure. It could also be Bethany's, but I'm just having a hard time with the door, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Dylan's, though. And that's the living room. Looks just like a regular living room. It's always a great show. You just aren't here, KB. There is Dylan's room right there. Maybe we can go back and see just if the lighting is... Yeah, okay, so that feels like that's her room. See how the lighting looks like that? And if you go to that image, kind of... I don't know. Let me see if there's any telltale sign in there. Ah, man, if that was just wider angle. See, the thing is, they have these wide angle shots, and they crop it to show everybody. It's like, we don't want you to crop anything. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sub-Zero. I'm just doing a show, man. Oh, come on. You can't zoom in and say those are stab marks in the wall. We don't know what it is, all right? Anyways, let's keep moving here. We'll look at it later, though, okay? And then this is from the first floor, looking up to the stairs that go to the second floor where the living room is. This is Madison Mogan's bathroom, or Kaylee's too, I guess. It's right outside of her room, though. There's a mirror here, and it's filming a police officer coming up the stairs. And this is what we were talking about earlier. The footsteps, you have this one, and that one. They're all heading towards the house, and then this one, and then it goes that one, this one, that one are heading back up that direction, and there's a fence there, and if you go all the way up that fence line, it goes right to the back of the parking lot. I don't know, that's what the defense attorney said, but the prosecutor doesn't seem to ever agree with any of these stuff about the cleaning up. Man, hey, thanks, Jeannie Guy Goy and Kim Not Your Cup of Tea, who got 5 memberships. Wow, thanks so much for your generosity. And both of you guys for buying memberships for people. Very cool. This bedroom here this is Bethany's room. So I'm almost positive the one that we saw a minute ago was Dylan Mortensen's. She's got the butterflies. Right, so again, there's the tan spot right there. And this is, see that drawing on the wall is not in the Madison Mogan image, so it has to be Madison Mogan's room. And there's no light over here, so. Man, what a nightmare in here. And so that's probably Xana down here, some skin tone down here. And this is Madison Mogan's door. They must have, I think they shut it. It could have been shut actually upon arrival, but it was open at one point. And that's why there's blood spatter on there. You see that? So there's blood spatter there, I think. That looks pretty round, so that might just be a, I don't know. It looks, I mean, that's pretty amazing. But this is, 2 points of blood, and these show that the blood came in at an angle like this, hit here, and then it has a little tail that goes that direction. So the blood, the angle of the blood hitting that door came in from that angle just like that. All right, this is what I wanted you to see. So see this color on the bed right here? I think that 100% matches that right there. Look in the lower right hand corner. See that? Let me go back. Right there, that was it. See right down in the lower right hand corner, can you see that? That's Madison Mogan's bed. Kaylee was in this corner here. I think this is arterial blood, I guess you might want to call it spatter or splatter, whatever the hell you guys want to call it now. I guess splatter's a word. It's crazy though. I mean, it almost makes me think that Kohberger's left-handed though. You know why? Because look at this up here. That's the blood came in from over here and hit there, and then that's the tail of it, and they all look like that. So that would be like him pulling back the knife and having blood fly backwards. But if he used his right hand and he's doing it, the blood would be kind of more in the room. I mean, it's pretty weird because that right there is a weird thing to have occurred from way over there. I guess he could just be the knife, and he, the way he flings it back, maybe some blood flew off of it and went over there. But kind of makes you wonder. There's a whole bunch of like, it's hard to tell because there's so many different types, but I'm pretty sure this is like arterial right there. But see how there's that little tan in the corner, and then if you go forward, and then that's the same bed right there. So I don't know if the girls are still on the bed in that photograph, because I thought that Kaylee was up in the corner back there. Remember? All right, so maybe that is just it is a blood spot. Let me go back to that other image. No, because that's not the same thing, because the door, the knob would have been there. But you know what I think? I think the door was open when the attack happened, and then they shut the door for some reason. I mean, I don't know why you would do that, though. Why would you shut it? Maybe they were just checking to see. I don't know. Maybe that is how they found it, with the door shut. But see, there it is. That's the same marks. See those two right there? 1, 2, like that. And you go back there. Those are those same two. So that again proves that that's her door. And then this is what she was wearing that night. Looks like, I don't know if those are Doc Martens or whatever, but she had those and jeans. And then here is the the bed. And then, I mean, it is interesting, right? Like, I think there's a lot of little blood droplets over here, but not as much as people were thinking. Like, that's blood, blood, blood. And that looks like probably all cast off blood from a knife where he's like, he flings it and then it goes up in the air, and then when it comes down, it basically comes straight down. And you could also, he could also have been like walking out and it's dripping down, because this looks like it's just like a sphere, right? Like it came straight down from, and I think what do they call that? Passive blood drops, where it's just something that's dripping off of something, and there's no like velocity or directional information associated. Like it just drops down. So it could be from the knife as he's carrying it out of the room, or it could also be, whatever caused this blood here, just the sheer number of stabbing he's doing, and there's blood droplets flying around. Thanks, Ms. Music Mama. But hey, guys, we're on one of those lulls in here in general, so if we can, get the support going for the channel tonight, maybe sometime tonight we'll donate $500 to some place. I think this month I'm not going to be giving to our scholarship fund, because we've already funded it. And I guess we're going to start submitting their videos for their scholarship fund pretty soon. So, I don't know, Zozo, when you get back from your trip, if you're interested in checking out the videos, that'd be good. Yeah, the dog was hiding in the room. But I think these are the jeans she was wearing. I think these Doc Martens or whatever she was wearing. And those are Madison's clothing. And she was in the bed over here. Yeah, well, obviously the beds had blood on them. We don't need to, it's not like sleuthing to say the bed mattresses had blood on them. This isn't Kaylee's clothing and boots. Where do you guys come up with this stuff? I mean, it's just... yeah, it's obviously Maddie's. I've seen photos with her wearing those shoes. You can even see her wearing them in the grub truck video. Why would Kaylee, she was in bed, why would she bring the boots over to the room? Wow. Let's see. These photos afterwards, bodies are all gone. Gray, I emailed you a photo of Maddie's bed. Okay. Well, what about it? Don't tell me it's when they're moving the mattresses out. Oh, so that's what they cropped out? Jeez. Is that a new image that was just released, or what? I thought they blurred out all the images. Where are these coming from? I mean, there's no people in it, but it looks pretty. It looks legit. Looks like the same. But where are these pictures coming from? I thought they didn't release any non. Well, I guess they. You know what? I think some of the images they got, they just cropped the stuff out, and then law enforcement blurred what they wanted to have blurred. I don't know if what do you think? It's just a pillow. Basically, I can describe it to you if you want. So it came from NBC News, the full image. Send it to me, the link, Dana, so I can see it. Okay, send me those, Eva. I'll put it in this folder here. There's no people in it, so I don't feel like I can't show it. I don't want to show bodies or anything like that. It's not going to be AI, Ashy Snow. I know what I'm doing, okay? Thanks. You know, if you don't trust what I'm doing, go do something else. You know. Anyways, if you guys want to send the links that have it, that'd be great. Yeah, so somebody else got it from NBC News. Thanks, Michelle H. Oh, that's right. A friend said that. Hey, can we confirm? Let me read it for you, Ashy Snow. Hold on. Can we confirm the source so we aren't over here looking at AI shit? See, if he'd left that part out, it wouldn't have bothered me. I would have read it like a friend. All right. Yeah, what do you mean an NBC video? Send me the links, you guys. Not screenshots. Send me the link. All right, you guys, we're doing those lulls again. Let's see if we can get the support for the channel up tonight. We're only at like 70%. That would be awesome. Yeah, it's crazy what they went through. As they wrote earlier, Kaylee Gonzalez's dad, Steve, said the families have fought to keep photos of the children out of the crime scene photos. Yeah, well, I think they've blurred them out so you can't really see what's happening in those. Hey, thanks, La Belle V, for gifting a membership to Sunshine. I mean, the thing is, without Kim up here, we'd be at a world of hurt tonight, you guys. So, Kim, not your cup of tea, where we'd only be at like 40% or 30%. So we need the rest of you guys to be supporting the channel tonight. And if you can't support the channel financially, hit that like button. That'd be great. We've got 369 likes. How ridiculous. Wait, why is there a drive that you're sending me this? What is this? These are more images? Oh wow. Okay, well. Let me just spend a minute or so downloading these somewhere else. I mean, what are these images here? They seem like they're just images somebody screen grabbed from somewhere. Like they're not the big full images. I don't think, anyways. I'm just trying to find ones that I don't have. Yeah, it seems like everybody has kind of the same set. Hey, thanks, CR. The membership gifting queen has showed up. So that's one I don't have. And what's this one? Well, the link that had all of the different images in it, I don't see the new ones that people have sent, so I don't know. Let's go back to my email. Let's see. So there's an NBC video. I guess we'll just take a look at that. This is an NBC video. Let's see what happens. I'll turn down the audio. That's Dylan's room, living room. Isn't this the one from earlier today? And there's the kitchen. And they're just, it's not a video, they're just animating the... Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this one... Okay, that's right here. See this? That's the one that somebody just sent me. So that's obviously, remember that can that I was telling you about? That's exactly right here. There's the arterial shit there, and there's blood on the bed, and then all over the place. All right? This is where Kaylee was in this corner over here. And maybe she's still there. I mean, it looks like they blurred out something. So maybe Kaylee wasn't all the way in the corner, and she was kind of close to... Because see how it looks like they're blurring a person out on the right there. But isn't that's nuts right there. That's a lot of blood on that bed. So that was the image that I was sent. There we did it, Ashy Snow. See, we verified it was real. Thanks, Jennifer Ewing. Yeah, this one was earlier, but they didn't have... It's weird how that image wasn't full like that earlier. Or maybe it was and I just missed it. Okay. That was pretty wild, huh? Yeah, so we're just kind of... I mean, it's interesting to look at these. Because now we know all of the... everything that was in the room. It's all matches Xana's. That was a video in the same folder. Was it this one that I was looking at? Yeah. See, this one... See, it tells you that there's really high quality videos, but these people blur, just don't... We don't get to have the actual file. I bet you that the files that these news stations got, the metadata shows from 11/13/2022. But look at right there. See, there's the rug. This is what I was looking at earlier where I went, oh, wow. So that is blood here. But you know what? Maybe that is... is that really blood there? Or is that the... like they just colored over it or something? Because that other image definitely is not... Let's go look at that one again. Right there. So what we're looking at is the same thing. See that? Like that there is... Even see how it goes in like that? The angle of it isn't as sharp, but that's the same spot right there. But to me, this looks like they drew... I mean, this is just absolutely black. There's no way that's blood or anything like that. So they're hiding something. But maybe it's just blood that they drew over. So we can't tell that it's blood. Because that's completely black. And then here is a little reddish hue to it. And that might be a massive amount of blood that pooled up, and Xana's on the ground right there. That could be what we're looking at there. Yeah, now maybe you guys can, if you buy me a coffee, your donation comes up on the screen too. So try that. We got one right there. Yeah, I know. Because it's blood that's casting the shadow, Robin, so I do know. Yeah, I think the blood's casting the shadow, and they painted right over the top of it and made it look completely black, so that you couldn't tell that that's what that was. Yeah, so it kind of looks like this carpet here is more like this, and then a little bit more over here, and then maybe, I don't know, it almost seems like she's kind of like almost like that, maybe, you know, but still oriented a little bit like that, and then blood came down and then it makes its way over to here. I don't know. So why don't let's go back over the documents again, the portion that describes, and we can kind of look at the photos at the same time. All right. But man, we've just frozen up in here, you guys. So if you're not aware, my channel relies on the generosity of the people watching to support the channel with, you know, tipping the channel on a nightly basis. There is no ad revenue on these live streams, so it's, you know, it's kind of just up to the people watching the show to support the channel. If you like what I do, just think of you know, you go into a restaurant and you got a cheeseburger. And you're tipping the waiter. That's how this is, right? But then at the end of each month, I take the ad revenue, the super chats, the super thanks, the super stickers, and all of that, and I try to donate. Like last month, we donated $4,000. The month before that, I think it was maybe 3, and then about 5 or 6 the month before that. So that's the only way to make it happen. All right, so when I'm saying this, I'm not just throwing it out there. It seems like it just falls on deaf ears. All right? So if you're listening and watching, if you could please help support the channel tonight, that's what allows us. We have to rely on the nights where there's more people watching, too, to have the bigger nights. And so far, tonight is, you know, we're not even at the goal yet. I mean, that's pretty sad. Yeah, the DoorDash bag is right there. That's the DoorDash. This is it. It's not this bag over here. That's a popcorn bag. Can't you tell? Hey, Wendy Woobles sent a coffee, 3 or 4 coffees at least. And then, who was that? And then CR sent a Cash App. Thank you. Okay. All right. Want the bag behind the sink in earlier pic. Yeah, this is the DoorDash bag. This is a this is probably the most the image that was taken first out of anything. So this is how it looked when law enforcement got there. You can even see the sliders still open right there. See? So this is like, this picture was taken, then the next one's through the slider. Hey, thanks, Monica Reeves from Australia. G'day, mate. G'day, mate. I got 89,000. That's me highest score, mate. I know that was terrible, but you know, give it a shot. Yeah, well, you guys are all generous. That's what makes it so that the channel itself is being able to be at the end of the month. That was pretty good, Zozo. Come on, give me a break. Oh, come on, Kim. Stop. Collaborate and listen. I smash little bend to a mention something. For those who move tightly, flows like a hawk through billion nightly. Will of stop, yo. Don't know. Turn out the light. And I'll blow. Do the extreme rock like a vandal. Adversation like a tank, like a gamble. Bam. Goes big as a boom. Killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly. When I play the melody, anything less than the rest of the felony. Love it, believe it, better game way. Did everything so like it. Still play. Oh.
Gray, you are the best. Please everyone hit the like button and subscribe.
That's
It
right.
helps the channel so Gray can keep bringing us the best content. Red heart emoji.
That's right. That's right. And the goal is for me to do the show and that I don't have to ask during the show for the support. You know, it should just be, man, we know what we're doing here. Like that. Hey, thanks, Not Lana. Time to stop exploiting these people for views. Yeah, no doubt, Not Lana. You should definitely quit doing that. Let's see, it's a crying shame. Hi, Gray, I'm late to the party. Oh, are you really? Not really. We're here right now. We always get the trolls that show up in here. But thanks for the money to troll. You're a little cheap, though, for a troll. We've had lately we've had trolls that send in like $7 or $8. So you're kind of a lame troll, Not Lana. What was funny about that, Mariska? Jesus. Nancy Grace said the BK has now changed his mind and is, oh, come on. Well, it doesn't matter if he's changed his mind. He can't appeal. It's over. If that's true, Patricia, he can't do it. I don't think so. I think I don't know what that was. That wasn't a good one, Mariska. That's not, a friend doesn't say that on here. Yeah, it really was a dud for a troll, isn't it? Man, what a lame. They said he has so many days. No, but he doesn't get to appeal. You understand what I'm saying? Like he can. I mean, he can appeal. It'll make its way to a judge. And then the prosecution will walk in and say, look, he signed this. He waived his right to appeal. And the judge is going to say, that sounds good to me. See ya. That's how it's going to work, you guys. He doesn't get to appeal. There isn't anybody going to be looking at anything. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he's going to walk it. They're going to go, oh, look, he's appealing. Look. He didn't get to do a third-party suspect. And the judge is going to go, oh, let me take a look at this. You have anything to say, prosecution? He goes, yeah, he waived his right to appeal and pled guilty. Oh, okay. It's dismissed. See ya. There isn't going to be any looking around. It's not going to waste the judge's time. What are you looking to get answered, Ashy Snow? I can probably answer it for you. My email is grayhuze2@gmail.com. Right, that's exactly right. He can file. The judge will probably get it. The prosecution will say he waived his right, and the judge will go, okay, see ya. I mean, isn't that just obvious? I mean, Nancy Grace isn't being interesting or like controversial or anything. Everybody's already known this. He can claim whatever the hell he wants to claim. It's not going to work. He's already pled guilty, and he admitted doing it, and he even waived his right to an appeal. That's how guilty he was. He wanted to avoid the death penalty. How the blood got to outside wall. Oh yeah, like I've already explained this many times on here, but I'll tell you. Look right here. I'm going to show you guys this. I don't know how many more times I'm going to show it, but you know, Ethan's on the bed like this. Apparently his head is sort of between the wall and the bed. So it's possible that he was way over there or something, right? But see where he is right there? And there's actually arterial, it looks like blood on the wall there, you know, like a spatter or splatter, I guess. Now I have to use either one. And then right here is where that blood is. Okay, so look at right there. And the blood outside the house is right there. And here is that picture. Right? That's right outside. That wall right there is this wall. Okay, we've said that on this channel for years. I mean, for 3 years we've said that. That's why, you know, when we figured out that Xana was on the ground, then we realized that Ethan, since he's not visible from the door, is likely on the bed. And then the blood outside is Ethan's. Right? And so that is his blood right here coming out of the house. All right, you get it? That makes sense? Ashy snow? Yeah, it just was so much of it. It went through the hardwood floors, through the wall. You know, it's a really shitty house. I mean, it was very poorly built, and, you know, you could break, you know. It almost feels like if a car was going too fast and hit the house, it would have collapsed. Well, so that makes sense to everybody? So imagine there's actually dirt right here, and this is a retaining wall that held up the dirt. All right, so let's take a look at the this document again now. Now that we see these, you know, some of these photos, we can look at it. Upon arrival, I saw a hunter, and they were crouching near the entrance. Let me see where this starts up. Okay, right here. Nunez and Warner respond from upstairs. When I got to the second floor, I saw a female covered in blood in the bedroom. This is Xana, on the northwest side of the second floor. I believe this female to be Xana. I looked inside the bedroom. Xana was laying, and it was obvious an intense struggle had occurred. Xana was obviously deceased. There was blood smeared on various items in the room and all over the floor. So that is exactly what that huge pool is. That is that darkness. That's blood, and there's a shadow from it because it is blood, but they painted right over the top of it pure black so that you couldn't tell that it was blood, but that's exactly what that was. There was blood smeared on various items. There was blood cast off on the walls in various places, including above Xana's body. So that probably even on the ceiling. Xana was on her back on the floor in the center of the room with her head towards the west. Xana was in her underwear. So from above, when it says head towards the west. So, you know, I guess, you know, we always think in terms of perpendicular, right? When we hear stuff like, oh, hey, her head's for the west. But, you know, to be honest with you, not that, I mean, people, you know, when people say to be honest with you, they're admitting that they lie. That's such a garbage thing. But look at it. Could, even like that, is her head towards the wall. That means it's generally towards this west wall over there. And if I go like that, let me go to the top. This is the orientation of the house. Okay, from above. And so north is that way, and the west wall is this one over here. So even if, you know, she could be like this, right? Easily. And you'd still say her head was towards the west and her feet were, you know, the other direction. Towards the door. Hey, thanks, Michelle H. She said, let's serve. Hello, Gray and Freaks.
Come on, wave your
Dixie hippies.
ocean wave emoji, ocean wave emoji, ocean wave emoji.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know, I'll just sort of split it, go like that, you know, something of that, something similar to this. And maybe she's not like that. And I don't know where Ethan is, so that's one I really want to. Thanks, CR, the legend. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Bryan Kohberger could potentially argue that he had an ineffective counsel, or that newly released information has, and they still wouldn't read it. No, they wouldn't even look at it because he's already waived his right to an appeal. So he can claim whatever he wants. What's the name of the small side street next to Maddie's room? I don't know what the name of that is. I think it's kind of just an alley or something. They don't actually name that. Oh, by Xana's room? Let's see. What are you talking about? That's not Xana's room's on this side of the house. You're talking about this right here, though, right? That doesn't have a name. It might be King. I mean, I don't know. It looks like King Road. They have it sort of continue around like that. Then Queen goes over here, but they don't have a name on that one either. So I don't know what this little side street's called. Yeah, Queen Road goes over here. Back behind. And I don't know if this is still Queen and then King like that. Does it really matter what the name of it is? I guess. They took the house down in December on, I think, December 28th or 9th of 2023. Over a year after the homicides. Man, that took them a long time. I'm one of the people that do not give a crap that they tore that down after all of the photographs that were taken, the 3D scannings that were done, etc., etc., etc. It's just like, we don't shut down city blocks because there was a murder on a sidewalk. You know, it's just, you got to start moving forward. It's ridiculous. With the technology that they have these days. Hey, thanks, Techies Demolition. I already been active in challenging evidence and trial conditions. I don't know what you're saying. How come these are being blocked here? What happened? Courts often assume jurors can be impartial if properly instructed. Kohberger accepted a plea deal that avoided the death penalty, which may complicate claims about... I know, but it's not even just that, Robin. He also waived his right to an appeal. He doesn't get to say anything. Well, you don't block the comments, though. I don't know what she's talking about, but if she, they're not mean or anything. Okay, they're not mean comments. They're just, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not following along. So if you think it's, something you need to remove, then remove it. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to I wanted to read this here. Okay. So now we're looking at what they said they saw. So that matches. So it says Xana was on her back on the floor in the center of the room with her head towards the west. Xana was in her underwear and a long-sleeved gray shirt. Both her shirt and underwear were covered in blood. Xana's face and body was covered in dried blood. I could see what appeared to be defensive knife wounds on Xana's hands. There was a deep gash on Xana's left hand between her pointer finger and thumb.
From the beginning on 2X. Cool face emoji. Victory hand emoji.
Well, good luck, Mustang Sally. Good luck. Let's see. Let's see. A partially covered male was on the bed. See, that's weird, right? And also obviously deceased. I believe this male to be Ethan. The midsection of Ethan's body was covered with a blanket. So let's open this up. What's the clearest one that I got? Okay, I think this is probably a useful one here. Well, maybe there's probably a better one than that. I think that one. That's better. I think that's one of his legs. And the other leg is probably underneath this pink thing. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, though, you know? See, in this picture here, his legs aren't off the bed or anything. And this isn't him over here. I don't think, anyways. I mean, that's... Wait, he's not like... No, like his legs aren't underneath that. Man, it's just... this is a tough one. Let's keep reading here. So it makes sense, like the midsection appeared to be between the bed. Okay, it says, I believe this male to be Ethan. The midsection of Ethan's body was covered with a blanket. So that's what this pink is. That's kind of covering his midsection somehow. I know it's blurred. Obviously it's blurred. We're looking at it. It's blurred. Yeah, we know that. It's just, I don't know where, like... It's just kind of hard to picture because Ethan's like 6'4". He would barely, like this bed, he would just be hard to fit on this. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think he's at an angle. He's at an angle because his head is between the bed and the wall, they said. So Ethan's head wasn't visible and appeared to be between the bed and the south wall. And that's crazy, right? So his head is hitting the wall that his blood is outside of. There was some blood cast off and what appeared to be arterial blood spray above where Ethan's head was. That's exactly right. See right there? That's what that is right here. That's arterial and so it almost seems like his head is right here. Like I see brown. But then if his head's between the bed and the wall, maybe it's sort of off the edge. But what's like that's a leg, but you know, it just seems like his leg would extend further out. You see what I'm saying? Because where, like, I mean, it's blurred, but I don't know. I mean, they make it seem like these are legs. I could see that being a leg, like that sort of skin tone there. And that's brown like his hair. But then his leg just kind of stops. Like, see on that picture? Even though it's blurry, you still should be able to see an object. I mean, I don't know what that is, but obviously there's nothing there. Hey, you guys, don't say stuff that you're just guessing, like, oh, yeah, he's got, you know, you can't see it, all right? That's the truth here. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, I guess they could be, his legs could be all bent up and everything. I don't know. You know? I mean, I got these YouTubers that draw lines on the images so everybody pretends that's what they're seeing. And it becomes like Spirit Box, you know. Oh yeah, no, his legs are, and it's just not it, you know. It's amazing. Yeah, maybe it's something like that. They don't say that, though. They don't say he's in fetal position or anything. Ethan's head wasn't visible and appeared to be between the bed and the south wall. There was some blood cast off and what appeared to be arterial blood spray above where Ethan's head was located. I proceeded upstairs to the 3rd floor where I met Officer Nunez and Warner. Officer Nunez and Warner advised the residence was clear of any additional people. There was a dog belonging to Kaylee in the 3rd floor west bedroom, which has access to a 3rd floor deck. The deck has no exterior access to the ground level. Oh, just ask the Kohbergers, man. There was a grappling hook used. There was a dog belonging to Kaylee in the 3rd floor west bedroom, which and then it says the deck had no exterior access to the ground. I asked Corporal Snyder to cordon off the area and Officer Nunez to start identifying the subjects that were on the scene when he arrived. I asked Officer Warner to start a crime scene log. On the 3rd floor, I went to the southeast bedroom where Officer Nunez and Warner advised they found 2 females whom I believe to be Kaylee and Madison. Both females, and that's right here. Yeah, this is, Jesus. Like right there. That's, and I think because they're blurring this part out, it just might mean that both girls were kind of hunched up close to each other on the right half of the bed, because it looks like it's sort of the weight is weighted down in the middle here. Hey, thanks, Leslie Thomas. I'm never watching again.
I'm never watching again. Smiley face emoji.
Yeah, I think it's about time to play that again. That's one of my favorite things ever. I just, where is that? Right here. All right, get ready, you guys. This is accurate. This is when I was in Moscow, Idaho, a month and a half ago filming stuff. So here it is. Listen to this. I don't have a hat on or anything. Listen.
You guys see that? When I was on Court TV, do you guys see that? I'm sure they'll get the obligatory, I can't believe you had gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching again. When I was on
It makes me laugh every time.
I'm sure they'll get the obligatory, I can't believe you had gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching again. When I was
Yeah, God, that is the best damn thing in the world, man. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make the I'm never watching again mugs and t-shirts. Oh, this is freaking awesome. Like, if I'm ever in a down mood, I just watch that, man. That thing just, it makes me laugh. Oh, yeah. I think I did. I actually I found it and made it in. I had like the video for a short, but then I didn't do it. I should do it. Now, Tumbleweed said they're not watching again. Thanks, Tumbleweed. I'm never watching again. You probably don't, Mariska. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. I like that beat too. There's no damn blood on the damn floor. How many times do people have to say that? Yeah, there was some blood in the bedroom floors, but there was droplets on the. All right, I'm going to turn off the just for a minute. All right, so over here it says, on the third floor, I went to the southeast bedroom where OFC Nunez and Warner advised they found 2 females. Oh, wow, I got to turn this back on again. Brown-eyed girl? What the heck? I haven't seen you in months. Where is that? Thank you. Where have you been, brown-eyed girl? I was like, man, I probably pissed her off too. Thank you, Norma Elizabeth. My first live here. Thanks for all your hard work. Hey, no problem, no problem.
You, my brown-eyed girl.
See, I still have that sound effect. Very cool. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's like a lot of the old, you know, the people that used to watch the show showed up. Thank you. I thought Kaylee had moved out already. Yeah, you know, we all thought that. I think she did move out, but maybe she hadn't moved out some of her bigger items, you know, like a bed and stuff like that. I always thought that there was no bed in that room. Well, first I thought there was a bed in the room, and then later I thought, oh, there must not have been one because she had already moved out. She was just coming to visit. But apparently her bed was still there, and it looks like there's a lot of stuff there. What does, Zozo? My mom used to change the words and sing Blue-Eyed Girl. Oh. Well, anyway, it's good to see you, Brown-Eyed Girl, and thank you. Haven't seen you for a while. I thought maybe I sent you off somewhere. I'm never watching again, I thought you said. Yeah, I mean, so obviously there's stuff in that room when you look at the picture of the dog, Murphy, you know. So the desk is still there, her bed's still there. You know, maybe she moved a lot of her clothes out. Let's see. Maybe the house was partially furnished. Student housing, the bed and desk stay. That's not what this is. I mean, it's for students, but they're just rental houses. I don't think that's what the case is, but man, you know, who knows? Maybe you're right. No, I don't think Kaylee's. I mean, like maybe she's under the bed and then her head's right there. I mean, let's just read what it says here. I was trying to do this part. So it says, I observed Kaylee lying on the north side of the bed. Okay. So that would be, this is the north side right over here, this area. And Madison lying on the south side of the bed with their heads towards the east. Kaylee and Madison were covered by a pink blanket. So is that pink? So a lot of people are saying pink. That's why they thought that was Xana's room, but that's not. You know, I don't know if there's another blanket in here, or maybe they're considering. I mean, the color is kind of weird in this picture, so it's possible that this is sort of a pinkish color, and the color correction was off, but looks kind of more tan. It does kind of look, if you look at some hues over there and right in there, it looks a little bit pink. Yeah, so it's hard to say. I mean, maybe if we take this, let's see what happens if we bring it in here. Yeah, it just didn't do much in there. Good evening, Gray Mods in chat. Candalee Woodward Stone. Wow, it's kind of cool to see all those. All right. All right, so they were covered by a pink blanket, which was covered in blood. So maybe that is what this is, and they were underneath that. Wow. And maybe you're right. I mean, maybe that's, you know, she's curled up underneath there, I guess. But that's not how they describe. Remember how Kaylee's mom described how in one of those interviews that she was sort of sitting up, slumped over in the corner? I guess it just shows you that a lot of information that people were given wasn't really correct. Yeah, I can see that's blurred to the right here. I mentioned that already. Yeah, I said that, M10, like 100 times. Yeah. Like right over here, see that? That's blurred right there, yeah. Every single time I've shown this photo, I've mentioned that. All right, so it says right here, I observed Kaylee lying on the north side of the bed and Madison lying on the south side of the bed. And the reason they're referring to it like that is because, again, the orientation of the house is like this. That's north-south oriented. And then Kaylee is over here next to that wall. And Madison, I'm trying to put everybody back in their spots the way they are now. But maybe, this is where the wall, she's north and then Madison was south. But we were told that she was kind of sitting up and slumped over, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Who the hell are you talking to, Carol? Get the hell out of here. Nobody was rude to anybody. Get the hell out of here. See what I'm saying? We get these people that show up. Nobody was rude to anybody. We're just sticking to the facts here. What? Your comment didn't get accepted? You thought you had some really clever, awesome thing to say and nobody liked it? Is that what you're complaining about? Let's see, which was covered in blood. There was a large pool of blood near Kaylee's midsection. There was a blood cast off on the east and north walls, right? And so that's exactly what we see in the picture, this picture right here. There's the north wall. There must be more on this wall over here. We just can't see it. See it? Like right over here. And then, well, I wasn't talking to you. So there's his blood cast off, and then there's over here, but maybe she's like right here. I mean, and she could be still sort of slumped over if she's kind of sitting up and then kind of bent over, but we can't see her. She's off screen. I'm reading from the documents that were released a while ago that we've been going over for a long time. This one is called This is why you always have to stop the show and try to. It's called the General Narrative Spillman Redacted Report that came out in the 300 plus document dump a couple weeks back. All right, there you go. Let's see. Madison had what appeared to be. Wait, hold on. There was blood cast off on the east and north walls above Kaylee and Madison. Madison appeared to be laying up against Kaylee, so that kind of shows you that they were really tight together in there. Madison had what appeared to be wounds to her forearms and hands. See, that would make you think that she too sort of put up a minimal struggle, but then got killed quickly. Madison had a gash under her right eye, which appeared to go from the corner of her eye to the nose. So like, right like this, I guess, down here or something. Kaylee was unrecognizable as her facial structure was extremely damaged. Okay, then they closed the door and left. Alright, so we've got these other ones here too. Okay, this is the one I really want to look at here first. Alright, so it says, when I arrived, I entered the residence and went to the second floor. I observed a female wearing a sweatshirt and underwear laying in the middle of the bedroom floor, covered in blood. I observed deep lacerations indicative of defensive wounds on the female's hands. The female was surrounded by blood on the floor. I observed a male laying on the bed. The male appeared to have suffered from stab wounds and a laceration to the neck. The male was covered in blood and the bedding around him was soaked in blood. In a third floor bedroom, I observed two females laying in bed which appeared to have been stabbed to death. The female laying on the left half of the bed, as I looked at it from the doorway, that'd be Kaylee, was unrecognizable. Her face was completely disfigured and was stabbed several times. Her face was stabbed several times. That's what they're actually saying. I was unable to comprehend exactly what I was looking at while trying to discern the nature of the injuries. The second female on the right half of the bed had multiple stab wounds. The comforter was soaked in blood and a pool of blood was still present. Yeah, see, that's what we're looking at right here. See that? Like that's like basically a pool of blood probably on top of the comforter. That's crazy, isn't it? Jesus. I was unable to comprehend exactly. I was looking at the second female on the right half of the bed had multiple stab wounds. The comforter was soaked in blood and a pool of blood was still present. And then what's interesting, it says, I was assigned to hold security at the rear slider door. This was the alleged point of entry of the suspect. I observed very large footprints in the snow. I used a tape measure and the shoe size measured approximately 13.5 to 14 inches. The footsteps went to and from the rear slider door. Well, hell, that's exactly what we're seeing in those images. I mean, look at this. Right here. See? And that's what he's talking about. These are footsteps going towards the house, and these are footsteps going away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it disappears into the snow. And then coming in, we've got, I think, this one, and this one. That's pretty wild. I mean, because I don't think they had any investigators roaming around at this point. They came in, secured the residence, and started taking photos and stuff like that quick. But I don't think, like, the bigwigs that we see walking around had been there yet. Because remember, this guy was just assigned to, like, block the door, and he might have even said, hey, listen, don't go over there, there's footprints right there. Right? Good evening, Candalee Woodward. Look at that, 47 months by Candalee Woodward Stone. All right. Yeah, wait, and then it does say here, it goes, the footsteps head away from the slider and then turn right around a stump. See, that's what it doesn't make sense. Okay, oh wow, so he has it go around whatever that is. I don't know if that might be a stump there. So he's saying that it goes out this way and then goes around that. So that wouldn't be, that doesn't make much sense there. Because that's not where Kohberger would have gone. He would have gone up that direction. So I don't know if he's referring to the exact same thing or what, or if he's being accurate on that. Hey, it's Dana Dane. There's Dana Dane, man. She came on and did a she's an artist. What's that called again? That kind of art you do? We actually just put one on the wall recently. You were going to send me another one, though. Where the hell is it? That's what we all think. Amethyst eyes. That's been my theory on the show. I think a lot of people got it from here. I used to, at the very beginning, I was thinking maybe Xana and Ethan were first, but after I went there and I sort of decided that Madison was the target because of the positioning of where you park your car back there. Even if you park on the far left of the back lot, you can't really see into Kaylee's room very well. Yeah, there's a stump there, I guess. Yeah. But it said turn right at a stump. So maybe it did go up there and then turn right and then made its way to the fence, and then you can't see it because it's more like on grass or something. Let's just go with that. All right? We'll go with that. Thanks, Richard Watts. Yeah, there's a stump there. I think that's a stump here too, though. I wonder if we can see that on Google Earth. Kind of looks like it. Like that looks like maybe a stump. Yeah, right here. Looks like well, maybe that's not the one we're looking at, because it should be here. It's almost like there's a stump right there also. So if that's the one, he would have maybe went like this and then went back up and around and over to here. But see the angle of the deck right there? That's the same angle as her door, right? So even if you were parked way over here, look at the angle. You know, you're not really, you can only see like a little bit of her room if you somehow had a view from back there. Yeah, no, we can see it, T. We just showed it. All right, let's see. No, well, you're an idiot every other sentence, Bobby. So that's all I got to talk about. And you're incorrect. This is just the way I am on here. I just cut through stuff, you know. Or sometimes I'm wrong about what I'm hearing and seeing, but not very often. You know, and if I am, I just move forward with the new information. You know, like earlier, you know, I've always been like it's blood spatter expert, but I guess there is a term splatter. I didn't really realize that. I mean, I knew that's a real word, but I didn't think it was used in the, you know, descriptive you know, in the investigators' terminology. But apparently it is. So there you go. I was wrong on that one. If he stayed to the left of the second stump, he would have made it right. I know, I just said that, Citrus Bloom. I just said that exact sentence. I can't see a lot of what other people see. I won't stress my eyes out looking, though. And by the way, there's trolls in here tonight, you guys. So the trolls are showing up. They're all over the place because you know, people are actually watching the show, and you know, and if you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, No harm, no foul. Nobody cares. You know, that just means you don't like my channel. It's okay, you know. But here's the thing. My channel, we always go out and try to find, you know, even if it's from newspaper articles or good sources at first in a case, then we go over the probable cause. And we always stick within a really tight realm of reality. Like, what is the information telling us? Not trying to come up with the craziest conspiracy. I hate when people go, it's not very likely, but it's possible. Let me tell. Well, okay, but let's talk about the likely things, okay? The thing that's not very likely isn't something you might talk about it later when you know, things aren't quite working out on the other one, then bring up the unlikely things. But to start off with unlikely is a complete waste of time. But people that are into sensationalism, that's what they like to do. You know, people like Anne Marie Doherty there. They love sensationalistic garbage. All right, let's see. What the hell are you talking about? Let's see. I don't even know what that person was even talking about. It's treating murder like reality TV. Yeah, we just try to do, I know, and the thing is, I don't get a lot of people, you know, my videos do pretty good most of the time, but a lot of people, they like the entertainment aspect of sensationalistic garbage. And so it's really a downer for the rest of us who try to do it the right way and work through it methodically. It's kind of a downer. Yeah. We got trolls in here again? Yeah. Let's see. I was wondering about that Yak Yak or whatever app. Yeah, what about it? I'm just here. And when Greg... I don't know. I'm not sure when that was. Lanky Tour. I don't think sensationalizing true crime is very... Well, they do it all the time. That's what the key is, you know. You know, you might think that these crime scene photos are sensationalistic by nature. Sure. But that's not why anybody's showing them. We're just trying to... You know, we've been covering this case for 3 years. We're not showing any bodies or anything. I think it's okay to sort of show, you know, in general, like what the hell was going on in these rooms. You know, and I think everybody sort of feels like, you know, I think it's crazy that they put out all these images to these networks, and the networks are picking and choosing, like, well, we're not going to show you this because we get to look at it, but we're not going to show you because we just don't think you could handle it. Now, they might be talking to the people who need the trigger bunnies and so forth, but we don't have that here. This is a true crime YouTube channel, and usually the topics are not something to, you know, they're not like happy time stuff. They're crazy. We try to have levity off to the side sometimes. That has nothing to do with the case. Like I just showed you the, you know, why do you have gray on your show again, Vinny? I'm never watching again. You know, that's absolutely nothing to do with this. Okay, so we did that one. Let me go to the next one. Female on the bedroom floor covered in blood and did not know if there was anyone else present in the room. He said he checked the room with... Oh yeah, Hunter did. He saw... This is what Hunter said. So Hunter went into the room and he said he didn't see if there was anybody else in the room. And then Nunez and I walked to the first floor entrance with Hunter. I asked the females and Hunter if there was anyone else in the apartment, and they did not know. I told Officer Nunez the home was not secure, and we started the process of cleaning it. On the third floor, in the southeast bedroom, I saw two clothed females laying on a bed on their backs who appeared deceased. One female, so that's weird. It doesn't sound like Xana or Kaylee's slumped over, right? But hey, guys, we're having one of those massive lulls in here. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, that'd be great. Thank you. One female on the left side of the bed in relation to the bedroom door and an extreme amount of lacerations to her face and upper body, which made her unrecognizable. The other female had multiple lacerations on the upper body and some blood on her face. I walked to the far side of the bed to determine if the female on the right was beyond help. I saw the female's leg, so that means one of Madison's leg was off the edge of the bed and it had lividity. Once I noticed the lividity in the female's leg, I backed out of the room. Okay, down here. Jack said he saw the female on the floor, or that's Jake. Well, it's not Jack. Which one is this? I'm not sure who Jay is in this one. He came over to the home at approximately 11:55. Isn't that Julie or something? What was the name of the girl with the J? I can't remember. It's a he though. He said he saw the female on the floor in the bedroom and did not see the male on the bed. That's supposed to be Hunter, I think. This here, who he identified as Ethan. So this little J here is supposed to be Hunter. Because Josie, is that a guy? Josie? Oh, okay, you think it's Johnson, Hunter Johnson? Okay, sometimes they put an H. That makes sense. All right, so Johnson said he saw the female on the floor in the bedroom and did not see the male on the bed, who he identified as Ethan. Before grabbing the knife, that says Johnson said he entered the bedroom and checked the female. At least I knew it was Hunter. I just forgot the J reference. I thanked Johnson for talking with me and told him he could go stand with isn't that his girlfriend? I don't know. Man, the names just aren't popping into my head tonight. It sucks. Who was with the other residents in front of the home. I stood by the front door. Yeah, that's right, Amy. I stood by the front door and started the crime scene log at 12:15 hours. Sergeant Gunderson relieved me, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see. Go to the next one. Yeah, Amy's Hunter. Isn't Amy Hunter's girlfriend? Or Emily's Hunter's girlfriend. Who's A, though? Yeah, Emily's Hunter's girlfriend. But why did it say A on that? No, it said A. The name started with an A. Yeah, why you guys keep typing in Emily over and over and over and over and over and over again? Okay, Ashley. Okay. I think that's what it was. My God, you guys. It's just aberrant. Oh, Jesus. We're not sleuthing that out. Okay, her last name starts with an A. Okay. And then this says, upon entering the room, I observed a female laying on his back on the floor, or on her back on the floor next to a bed. According to Dylan Mortensen, this female was likely Kaylee. That's completely bogus. That's Santa Kernodle. Dylan also lived at 1122 King Road. I observed dried blood surrounding Xana's body. I'm changing the name because it's wrong. Around Xana's body and signs of cutting trauma to her face. And Xana also had cuts to her face. Xana was observed in so much blood, I wasn't able to immediately discern where any additional injuries would have likely Ben. And so that's, let's see. Yeah, so that room right there, but it's the long shot that you can see it. That's not that one. What's this shot? Oh, that's Bethany's. Man. Okay, this one right here. See that, like that right there, that all of this black area here is blood. All of that. That part right there is actually the rug, the carpet in there. So that's what they're talking about when they're saying surround, just so much blood in there. I wasn't able to immediately discern where any additional injuries would have likely been. Kaylee was apparently deceased due to her pale skin, colored, rigid body tone, and apparent blood loss. On the bed in the same room, I observed the same room that I observed Kaylee in. I mean, what a stupid sentence. Just say in the same room on the bed, I observed a male lying on his back on the bed. According to Dylan, the male was likely Ethan Chapin. Dylan said that Ethan was commonly at the residence. I observed blood covering portions of Ethan's legs, surrounding his body into the bed sheets, and drops of blood on the wall near Ethan's head. As I backed out of this room, Hunter showed me a kitchen knife and said he had it in his possession. I told Hunter to leave the knife and go back down the stairs to the front entrance. All right, let's do, now we got to do this one here. These are all the ones that describe the crime scene. Huh? Who's Aaron? Michelle H. Who's that? Man, talk about lulls. Man, this is... Alright, upon entering, I observed a small bedroom on the west side of the bottom floor. Okay, that didn't have anything. I then walked upstairs to the second floor. The stairs ended in a small living room. There was a sectional style couch. I mean, we have all the stuff in here shows exactly what they're talking about. So here is, they come up the stairs and then they see this little sectional here. Thanks, Diedrich Ambrol. Yeah, we know Hunter Johnson. Yeah, we know. You're like 20 minutes late. You're on rewind, Mary. Let's see. I also saw a black backpack on the floor just east of the top of the stairs. Okay. Oh, maybe that's what this is. Let's see. I don't know. I think that's a black backpack. Is that you can't see it, but right there, I mean, maybe that's what they're talking about. Top of the stairs. OFC Smith then directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned was Anna Kernodle's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodle, laying on the floor. Kernodle was laying on her back with her feet facing the east and her head was facing west. See, now, we always thinking, like I said before, perpendicular stuff, but it could just be an angle, right? And still her head's, facing west. Kernodle had a thong underwear on and gray sweatshirt. There was a large amount of blood on the floor around Kernodle as well. I could see numerous wounds on Kernodle's arms, hands, face, which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Just next to Kernodle on the west wall was a small white nightstand, which appeared to have been moved as it was pushed against the wall at an odd angle. There was blood on this nightstand in various locations. Let's see. Okay, so I think there's one over here. This is the one by the window. And so there you go. Yeah, right there. So she probably fell against this at one point. I mean, notice how there's this big smudge right there. This is the nightstand they're talking about. Look how it's at a 45-degree angle to the wall. Looks like there's blood there. There's a bunch of blood here, and then all dripping down the side there. So, yeah, it's definitely... Let's see, does this have it in there? Yeah, it's right there off to the side. Hey, thanks, Justin Motocross 1995. He didn't come back to the house later, Amber, so no, he wasn't on that camera. If it was, we would have heard about it. I don't know. I don't think there was a chair that he sat in. Dateline said that, but Thompson said he doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah, that one's clear, I think. Yeah, see, that one's a little clearer. But, like, there's even blood right there on the wall, here, there, all over this thing. So there is, there's quite a bit of blood in the rooms by the bodies and so forth. But pretty isolated in there. Not a lot outside of the rooms. Just before this room, there was a bathroom. Okay, and it says Kernodle had thong-type underwear and a gray sweatshirt. There was a large amount of blood on the floor around Kernodle as well. I could see numerous wounds on Kernodle's arms, hands, and face, which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Just next to Kernodle on the west wall was a small white nightstand, which appeared to have been moved, and it was pushed against the wall at an odd angle. There was blood on this nightstand in various locations. The bed in Kernodle's room was situated on the south wall of the bedroom, with the head of the bed appearing to be towards the west wall. Exactly. I had that figured out a long time ago. I could see a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, laying on his back in the bed with some type of blanket pulled over his midsection. What does that mean? Okay, Chapin's body was at an angle on the bed so that his head was up against the south wall and his feet were hanging off the bed on the north side. See, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. None of these pictures show that. I wonder if they edited the photos and then, like this photo here, I mean, are those his feet right there? I mean, these things? And they just blurred it out. Like he's over there, and then his legs come here, and those are his socks. Because they did blur that out, but the whole picture is blurry. You know, and if his feet are hanging off, I mean, it looks like, let's see. I mean, I thought that was a stand for the bed. It's blurred out, but you should still be able to see, you know, like right here. See this pink thing is hanging off the bed? Well, we can see it. I mean, that's not him, is it? Like, those aren't his legs here. I mean, I just doubt it, but it seems like he's at an angle where his feet... Okay, let's see what it say again. It said, Chapin's body was at an angle on the bed so that his head was up against the south wall and his feet were hanging off the bed on the north side. This is the only one that mentions that. I could not clearly see the wounds to Chapin's head and back and neck area, but could see a very large amount of blood on the bed, as well as what appeared to be blood spatter on the wall next to Chapin's head and neck. I also, so that right there is, you know, so there it is right there, right? And so I always thought that was his head because it's brown over here. There's a little bit of brown. And so that's the, you know, arterial blood spatter on the wall right there. So that is where his head is. So the angle, you'd be like this. So they are sort of showing us the angle in the blurred image here. But at the same time, I mean, it's confusing. Doesn't make sense. Like, this photo here doesn't make sense to me. I mean, even if you squint your eyes, there doesn't seem to be any darkness or any other color inside of this area right here. It's almost as if they, in Photoshop, they took the bed on the original photo, covered up his legs, and then blurred it out, and we can't tell what the hell's going on here. Because apparently his foot is sticking off this end of the bed, and that's the only thing that mildly looks like something hanging off the end of the bed there, but or over here, right? Wouldn't that be crazy if, like, his legs were actually underneath that and we just can't tell? But why did they blur this out, I guess? See, right there, it looks like a skin tone something, like a, and so that would be that. And they're saying his feet are hanging off. His feet are hanging off of the north side. All right, so that, let's just take a look at the, here. So this is north-south oriented like this. And then you go into there, and so, like, I have his head back in that corner. It might even be more, so let's yeah, so he might be more like this. But the way they have it, it almost seems like it's kind of, I don't know. Jeez. And it's a tiny bed too. It's not like it's a big one. So it seems like it'd be kind of like that, you know, the way they describe it. But you just can't see anything. The north side is this side right here. See that? So where this pink, the pink is coming over, that's the north side of the bed. They're saying his feet are off the edge of the north side of the bed. So his feet then would likely be legs maybe in this area here, and he's so tall that I think he would barely even fit into this bed. This looks like a twin small little bed, and he's 6'3" or 4", right? Hey Rio, let me do the show the way I want. Who the hell are people like you? Stay focused, read through the report. I've read through these 100 times on here. I'm reading the way I want to read it. Isn't that amazing, these people who show up? I'm doing it the way I want to do it. I think it's more effective to go back and forth and look. Anyways, I could not clearly see the wounds to Chapin's head and neck area, but could see a very large amount of blood on the bed, as well as what appeared to be blood spatter on the wall next to Chapin's head and neck. I also noticed 2 large cuts on the back of Chapin's legs. Well, how did you notice that? If he's on his back, how did you see the large cuts? The wounds appeared to be deep into the tissue, but were difficult to see due to Ethan's body position. So maybe he was slightly turned to the right or something, but generally he's on his back. The wounds appear to be deep, and then it says, OFC Smith then took me through the house and pointed out Dylan Mortensen's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast side of the 2nd floor of the house, open to the kitchen. Her door opened to the kitchen area, as well as the staircase, which led to the 3rd floor. I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the 3rd floor of the residence. The 3rd floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonzalez, her room. This room appeared neat and picked up. The only thing of note was the sheets of the bed were pulled back in a manner which suggested someone had been laying in the bed and then gotten out of it. And we already know what that is because, let's see, after everybody came home, Dylan, Bethany, Kaylee, and Madison all met up in Kaylee's room, and Kaylee was getting ready for bed, and then Dylan and Bethany, Madison and Bethany and Dylan all went downstairs, and then Dylan went to her bed to go to sleep, and then Bethany and Madison went outside to let Murphy go to the bathroom, and then Bethany goes back inside and grabs a snack out of her cupboard, and then because she was cold, and then went down to her room while Madison stayed outside with Murphy. Then she obviously, Murphy must have sort of taken off or something, so she goes downstairs to Bethany's room and said, "Hey, have you seen Murphy?" And Bethany said no, and then Bethany continued to watch a movie in her room and eventually went to sleep. But then Madison obviously found Murphy and went back upstairs and probably dropped the dog off in Kaylee's room, and after dropping the dog off in Kaylee's room, went to her room and went to get into her bed. And then now during this exact same time, this is when Kaylee was on the phone trying to get a hold of her ex-boyfriend Jack, and then she wasn't having any luck, so she left her room and her bed. That's why her bed looked like it was slept in, and then walked over to Madison's room and said, "Hey, can you try calling Jack too?" And probably got into bed, and they were kind of laughing. "Oh, try to get a hold of." And then so Madison would try to call Jack many times and didn't get a hold. And then I think it's like 2:53 or 4. Kaylee tried calling for the last time, and then they just sort of were in bed together, and they sort of slept there. And I think they fell asleep, and then eventually that's why they're together in that bed at that time. Yeah, I think Ashley Snow was joking up there. Yeah, see, I'm never watching again. Yeah, except you got to put little sarcasm laugh marks in there, Ashy Snow, because you're, a lot of times you're not really that funny, so you got to put your little LOL at the end. People aren't going to get it. Let's see. Why is there anybody even arguing in here? The last time you give me a like? Just Moto X? Man, that's mean. You're mean. Who are you, Big Ideas? Haven't seen you all night. You know, I always love it when the trolls who aren't really around at all, and then right at the end, they try to get the little funny comment in there, supporting somebody that they think if they say something negative. And, you know, they hadn't commented all night. You know what I mean? It's just hilarious. They think they're hiding. Yeah, Murphy could have went out on the sliding, you know, out the sliding glass door. We've said that 100 times. But it's also possible that he did go outside and just never went into, you know, Madison's room. Yeah, and went outside. Actually, went outside the slider in the back. I mean, the barking sound that comes from the camera at the very end sounds like that dog's like 10 feet away, you know. And now we sort of wonder, is the dog that's barking in some of the barks a different dog that maybe lives in one of these, that house actually that has the camera on it? I guess we don't really know. Oh yeah, I think this is the one that I was looking at earlier. Look at this. See that? So Ethan's in this bed over here, but look at all the blood over here on the this nightstand. You can see more. This is NBC's version of it. And by the way, Rio, you'll never be commenting again. See you later. Have a good one. Sure, Big Ideas. Sure. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, that was the one that had looked similar. Hold on, I'm gonna add this. I gotta put this in the same folder. Hold on. That one that was clear. And let's see, I guess there's a new image that we haven't seen yet. Unless it's just people zooming in. I think they are just. Is that the, let me see. Is that the same thing? Yeah, so it's just the same one as this right here. But it's probably from a clear version of it. So some people are saying that that's a rolled up dollar or something, and then, oh, they must have been, you know, snorting something, etc. And it's just like, you know what? Even if they were, who cares? Okay, this is college time. When I was in college, I never did coke or anything, but when I was in college, people were doing coke like it was breathing. I mean, in the mid 80s, that it was just crazy in colleges, and it's like, who cares what they were doing in the rooms? I don't care what it was, though. I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, like, these people want you to focus on stuff that's absolutely not related in any way, shape, or form to the case, but they want you to get focused on it, and it's weird. I really don't understand it, to be honest with you. It has nothing to do with anything. Who cares? Yeah, those pictures you sent me, Lisa M are from a long time ago. Yeah, we've seen those. We've played those a million times. And okay. The photos like these, so see these right here? This is after law enforcement already came in and moved things around. That's the same bag that in the actual crime scene photos over here. All right, and like this one, that's all the same. That picture there, though, is, it's a little, I guess the angle of that's kind of weird. I mean, it looks like, is that the party table through the living room? Don't know. Yeah. And then we've even seen another one when the bag's on a completely different table. And so a lot of the photographs that the photographers got were like a couple days later, etc. Remember the one where everybody goes, "Ooh, there's blood coming down the cabinets." But hey, guys, what's up? We have this massive lull in here for like 45 minutes. That doesn't really work. So if you guys are out there, anybody out there watching that has the ability to help support the channel, this is one of those nights where it'd be great if you could do that. I would appreciate it. Put a lot of work into this, and there's no ad revenue on these live streams. So if you check back, and probably pretty soon, next few days, we'll be donating some money to various charities. And then at the end of the month, we donate money to charities. And I need your guys' support. I don't know what, we all know this, but we have these massive lulls where then I have to ask again, and I hate asking. I don't like to ask. I always get trolled for asking, but me asking is what allows us to keep being able to give each month to various charities, leading to $255,000 since January of 2020, which is $255,000 more than some of the dipshit YouTubers out there that make way more money than I do. All right, awesome. Hey, thanks, Justin Motocross, the anti-lol guy. So anyways, I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Chewbacca?
Hey, that's a good one. And thanks, Mustang Sally and N Mac. Here, let me tell you guys something. All right. Yeah, never donating again. All right, thanks. Hey, so yeah, you hear that sound effect? For anybody watching right now, you've probably never heard this before, but listen to this. All right, see this? Listen.
Chewbacca?
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Great, Justin Motocross said. Well, check it out. That sound effect you just heard was, we haven't seen him in a long time, but Cairo used to come in here. He was at a hotel, and he used to drive around and do cell phone repair or cell tower repairs and checks. So he drive all around the country. So he's staying at this hotel, and he's walking out the door to smoke a cigarette. You can even tell that he's got it in his mouth. So he goes outside, he opens the door, and right when he opens the door, there's a lady of the night, as it were, sitting on the curb. I've seen the video even, and she goes, and then he looks at her and goes, Chewbacca? You sound like she sounded just like Chewbacca, and goes, Chewbacca? And then she goes, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to. And I always say, yeah, because every guy wants a girl that looks like Chewbacca. That's what we're looking for. Yay! So listen to it again, knowing that that's what you're listening to, is him going out a door, and a woman sitting on a curb outside the door goes, and then he goes, Chewbacca? So here we go.
Chewbacca?
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
God, that's the greatest thing in the world, man. Come on, you gotta admit. Maybe I need to have my sound effect for my thing that, I'm never watching again. That's what I need to do, is go get that. Or maybe I can just redo it. Because it's me, so I can make the same exact. What they were doing doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. So here's the thing, you guys. It doesn't matter if they were snorting 75 lines of coke, shooting up heroin. Kohberger went in their house and killed them. It has nothing to do with anything. All right? No, I haven't heard from him in a long time. I don't know what he's doing. He was kind of sick for a while. I think I do have the video somewhere, or he has it somewhere. I'll have to check it out. The dark spot on the floor kind of resembles her pillow. Well, it's not. It's blood, so. All right, here we go. Let's see, this part just says, the only thing of note was the sheets on the bed were pulled back. This is on the 3rd floor, in a manner which suggested someone had been, that's Kaylee's room, laying in the bed and then gotten out of it. And then I just explained the whole scenario of why she got out of her bed. OFC Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the 3rd floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogen's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the 3rd floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. The bed was situated along the north wall of the bedroom, and both females, later identified as Mogen and Gonzalez, were laying on their backs with their heads towards the east and their feet towards the west, which was also the direction of the only door in the room. Yeah. Both Gonzalez and Mogen had numerous visible stab wounds and were covered in a significant amount of blood. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogen's right side when viewed from the door. So that part's right out of the probable cause. But why would you say, if they're right next to each other and they're both on their backs and Mogen is the southernmost person, why would you say it's next to Mogen's right side? Why wouldn't you just say the knife sheath is between Madison and Kaylee on the bed? So that's the part I don't really get, Maybe they're slightly disconnected and the knife's a little closer to her. It'd be really interesting to see the photograph of the sheath on the bed. That there's a photograph of that. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather sheath laying on the bed next to Mogen's right side when viewed from the door. I remained in the room for a moment and then proceeded back outside. See, the thing is I use logic and common sense in here. So when they originally said the knife sheath was on Mogen's right side, that's why I believe she was on her stomach. Because if it was on her right side and she was on her back, then it would be right between them. And I didn't understand the wording there. No, it's her right side. Yeah. Yeah, it said laying on the bed next to Mogen's, it even says right here, Mogen's right side. Well, it does say when viewed from the door. Yeah. So that's interesting, because that would be where I always thought it was. But she was on her... Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, right? Like, her right side when viewed from the door, so meaning Mogen's left side because she's on her back. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so, okay. So I guess that does kind of... I mean, we sort of worked through that at the time as well. So I've always had it like that. So if you go look at my... inside of this image here, this is my 360 degree. If we go upstairs into the room, so see that, like, here's the sheath, But that's her right side laying face down. But even if she was on her back, the knife sheath's on her right side when viewed from the door. So it'd still be basically right here. I don't think Kaylee's anywhere near like this, though. I think it might be that she's slightly over here, and then, you know, I guess we don't really know. So that makes sense. All right. Hey, that was a good point there. Thank you. When viewed from the door. That makes sense. Thanks, T, who has the... yeah, most people probably don't know what the symbol is next to their name, but I know exactly what that is. The symbol next to their name is from a video software program named VLC Player. Although they might not even know that that's what that is. Let's see. The girls and Ethan come home, went to bed. 3 of them were sleeping, and Xana was awake. Right. I mean, the way it worked was, hey, thanks, this account, the friends are not on trial. Right. No, it just, that's why it always bothers me when people want to keep having answers to, oh, why didn't they call 911? And, ooh, maybe they were doing drugs. It's just, is absolutely unrelated. Kohberger knew that these guys were, the women in there were partiers and drank. And he picked the time of night so he could go in there and kill them easily. And he did. And we don't really see any injuries on Kohberger at all. Gray, that's not true. When I zoomed in, I saw some... Okay, here we go. Here we go. But Gray... You... Awesome. Yeah, it's so cool though. I mean, my model looks exactly the same as the FBI model. I don't know if you guys were here when I showed that the other day, but it's just like, I mean, absolutely nailed it. I'm not sure which day has the model in it. Is it that one or this one? Or yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at this. Watch this right here. You'd almost think you're looking at the same thing. I mean, it's really pretty, almost weird in a way. Here, look at this. Without the roof on. Watch. Look at that. If I go like that, let's get the same angle here. See that? I mean, look at this. They have a little slightly different angle there, but I mean everything. Every single element. Look at the room right there. A little jog there, goes around. The bathroom's in this little area right here. And then right here is a closet and another closet. And they've got that closet, that closet. Then you look over there and look. There's the bathroom, Madison's door. And then even right over here in the corner, there's a closet. Theirs is, slightly different looking. A little smaller entrance to it. Their window's a little different shape here. Mine's probably, not that. That's actually this window, so it is narrow. And, it's just like, I did that just from photographs online and little, walkthroughs or whatever. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, so that's really about it for the crime scene detail information. So I thought that was pretty useful, right? I mean, looking at what they're saying and comparing to the images, right? It's not too bad. Yeah, well, we still got, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out, so I'm going to keep every time there's new stuff, I'm going to be covering it. You know, you just got to do it. Well, thanks, Shell. Welcome, Jules333. Yeah, her room was absolutely tiny. Her room is half the size of Kaylee's room. Look, it goes like this. See, basically, if Kaylee's room was right here, they'd be almost the same size, except there's a little extra here. So Kaylee's room is, you know, I'd say a third bigger than Madison's. And then down here, I think Bethany's room is pretty big. You can see it through there. You can't really see it through the ceiling. And then there's a storage room down there that was pretty big too, that they use as an office and stored stuff. But, you know, Kaylee had the biggest room. Xana's is not way smaller, but it's smaller, but it's bigger than Madison's room. And then Dylan's room is pretty big. It's right below. And, you know, Dylan's room takes up this whole space. So basically, Dylan's room is, she might even have the biggest room in the house. You know why? Because I think it shares this wall. It does. And then her room is this whole space like this. And Kaylee's is missing that corner because she has a sliding glass door. So that means Dylan's room is the full piece there, you see. So Dylan's room is the biggest room in the house. Kaylee's room is the most desired room in the house, I would imagine. And then I would think Madison's is probably the second most desired room. And then I would actually think Dylan's room is the least desirable. I would hate to, like during a party, I mean, you're right in the middle of it. Every second, the stairs going up, you're right next to the living room, you're right next to everything. Although, you know, maybe when you're in college, maybe her room would be kind of cool, you know. But if you were like somebody that wanted to get to sleep, probably wouldn't like it that much. All right, so maybe we just go over the images again, knowing what we've seen. All right, let's see. We'll start over again. So these are interesting photos. Like we just put these in. Zozo went and her and I were talking about these. She sent them to me about, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, before there was even and it shows you inside of Xana's room. So this must be a mirror that is, where would that be? That would be on, I think we see it actually in the crime scene photos. So there's a mirror on a wall. This would be the far right corner of her room. So that I would think that mirror, given the way that looks here, is right. It's like right here against the wall, like right there, I think. That's where that mirror is. Let me close these all down. There's like 100 of them open. Start over. Okay, here we go. We got that. And then this is in the living room, looking straight down the hallway to Xana's bedroom. Apparently this is a zoomed in close-up of the desk. Absolutely meaningless information. Then this is another shot of, you know, this is blood, by the way. This whole huge dark spot there is blood. Did they say? And she was wearing a gray top, so we can't see anything there, you know. Can't tell. And then this is in the living room. And that is yeah, what was that image somebody just sent? Just a second. New folder. Hey, thanks, Mark Willis. I got a hit Lake Oswego last week. Oh, did you really? Oh, come on. You did not. You got on the Lake Oswego? In Lake Oswego. Come on. You caught a smallmouth in there? We haven't even seen one. How'd you get into Lake Oswego? I got a hit Lake Oswego last weekend. 4-pound largemouth and some decent smallmouth. Did you get in there with a kayak or what? We haven't caught a smallmouth in there. And there's tons of largemouth though. Wait, did you go in the lake or just in the Lake Oswego area? Oh, really? That's crazy. There is smallmouth in there. I haven't caught any of them. My niece's boyfriend has a family that lives on the lake. Oh, wow. Cool. You got a 4-pounder, though. What were you using to catch the 4-pounder? My kid's been catching a lot on Rapala, like bluegill deep diving crankbaits. He kind of just trolls around these edges, and it's like, my God, he catches them all the time. Yeah, so anyways, this is the living room, and this is a table here for beer pong, and then the stairs go up. And you know what? I think it might have been almost this light in there. I mean, even if the lights are off, they have so many little accent lights and things going on that it was probably pretty bright. Megabass Spark Shed 4-inch with well, you should have called me up, man. I would have gone out there and we could have fished together. Did you go there early in the morning or what? Oh yeah, those are pretty cool. Might have to order those. All right. Got to keep that on the side over here. Anyways, thanks up there. I appreciate it. With underpin? What's an underpin? Are they like these things right here? These guys? Megabass Spark Shad like that? These guys? And when you say underpin, like you put the hook at the bottom or what? Make it weedless? Is that what you're doing? Alright. Now, what are you saying? It does look like Kaylee's night pee in the bed. It's okay. Alright, this bedroom here is Kaylee's room. So it's interesting. See this little, like in my 3D model here, if you go over here like this, see that there's this little opening, little closet area here. And that's where that desk is. It's right inside of that. And it looks like I might even have the bed slightly almost in the right spot. Look at that. Man, that's crazy. So the reality is the bed was just over a little bit more. So the bed was probably, I have Murphy right here. We'll put Murphy over there. And just slide this over about like that. Ish. You know, it's probably a smaller bed than that, though. And then over here, I think was like a vanity. And so, you know, this bed is probably, it's not a king or anything. So I bet you it's kind of like something like this. And so that kind of makes more sense in a smaller room. And maybe it's not as long either. But maybe, you know, something like that. Maybe it's a queen. I use 3D Studio Max. It cost me $1,700 and something a year to have that program. I use it a lot, though. That's why, that's why you guys pay me the big bucks with the super chats. They'll pay for shit like that. Okay, this is also Xana's room. You know, one of the things that just sticks out right away is the... that looks like... I don't know, almost like high velocity. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you call it. Like that blood spatter over there is weird. It's almost like when somebody coughs, you get something like that. That type of, like, that kind of droplets, like high impact blood spatter looks kind of like that. You know, so let me see if I can find a sample of that. Yeah, it's a little bit more, a lot of times more condensed than that, but yeah, like right there, see that? That's a impact spatter. And so when you look at that and you look at this over here, it kind of has that general, like this, see? Like that image. You know, that looks like more like arterial, this one over here. But see that? Like these, I guess we can't see that. But like down in here, this image, let me get, oh, I got the stuff on the screen again, sorry. See this one right there? Thanks, Kimmers. Oh, Kira said to help pay for shit like that. And then Kimmers, who thought almost exactly the same, helping to pay for shit like 3. You guys are hilarious. You guys think the same. Kimmers and you both have K's to start your name, man. What are the odds of that? And that's like from a gunshot wound, this one. But see, like that right there? I don't know. There's just a lot of dots in this one. I wish I could see the real image, but I don't know. You know, maybe she was coughed once or something, and or that's like the edge of a arterial spray that was on the wall and it just happened to. But that almost looks like it hit it straight on, because it doesn't really. I can see the angle of it to see if you zoom in on these ones right here. Can you guys see that? See that right there where it's dark at the top? That means when it hit the wall, and then the part below it means it's either, you know, I guess it could be either dripping that way or that's the angle it hit, because it's like a tail. It might have hit the wall at that angle. This one has that too. These ones seem like they're like almost straight on and then dried really quick. It's weird. This one has the tail on it, this one right here. Yeah, that's right. Autodesk. That's right. And then look down here. This paper bag is covered with blood. I don't know what this item is here. And then this Coors 12-pack here has blood on it right there. Yeah, and this one is Xana's room. And this shape right here, see how it's just completely black? There is blood there, but they just completely covered it in with black. And, you know, woods, you know, let's see, that's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches for each one of these. So that's pretty big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 something inches across. And then they just covered it up and drew on it. It was pretty weird, but that's just exactly what they did in that picture. That's Xana's room. I don't know if I said Kaylee accidentally. Then here's the kitchen right here with the DoorDash bag. And remember how there's all this blood coming out of the cabinets? I knew that was never blood because it doesn't make sense. They say, oh, it went through the walls. Really? It went through the walls? How would that happen? That's Xana's bedroom, and you'd have to be standing up and then put it up like 8 feet in the air through the wall. Then it would come down the top of the cabinets. Yeah, send me that gear information, Mark. That'd be sweet. Yeah, we know what it is. Go Beach Escort. We've already gone over it 100 times. This right here is the rug, right there. This right here is the blood covered up with a mat, like just a, you know, I don't know. People aren't going to believe it, but this is what they did here. They took something like this, and they just went like, let's say this object, they went like this. Okay? They just filled it in just like that so that we couldn't see what that was. Right? Doesn't that even look the same? I just showed you. I mean, that right there is exactly what they did, just like that. All right? That's exactly what they did, and that's what's happening right here, because you can see right below it there's something, and then they covered it up. Ah, jeez, Emily. Jesus. Why do you think they messed with the time on the stove? Oh. Come on, Emily. That's ridiculous. Gray, you're so mean. All right, here we go. Right there. Look at, if we zoom in, you guys. Look at, they mess with the time. You see that, everybody? We can't read it, but they messed with it. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe the clock doesn't even work on there. So when you say that they messed with it, you're already implying that there's some sort of something going on. Maybe they just didn't set the clock. If you're a college student, do you give a damn if your stove in the kitchen is on daylight savings time or not? Seriously. I don't think any of them care at all. Their phone has the time on it. Their smartwatch has the time on it. Right. Hey, thanks, MM. I had to reboot, delayed, to pay for cool shit, they said. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Jess. I know you're on top of it. None of us know what we're doing. But man, this is not ISP photos. It's supplementary. Woo! Let's see. My car clock is wrong most of the year. Right. Come on. You know that's not a big deal. Yeah, and then we looked at this earlier, and this is a close-up of the light switch. Arterial blood spatter, it looks like over here. And then apparently, you know, that bed turns out to be Madison's bed, that little tan down there. We didn't have that better photograph that shows up later. And then apparently this is Ethan on the bed. And that's probably like his sweatshirt that he wore over, and I don't know if he's got a blue shirt on underneath that. It's just we can't see anything. This is Dylan's room, I believe. That's the front door, coat hangers, living room, stairs that go upstairs, stairs that go upstairs from the front door. This is Bigfoot coming up the stairs. That's a mirror right here. A bathroom, Madison's room. That's out the back door with two sets of footprints going that way and this way. Apparently they go around a stump to the right, so maybe that's the stump he's talking about. Go around to the right. That means that we go next to the fence. This is Bethany Funk's room on the first floor. That's either the bathroom or utility room. There's two doors down there. This is the living room, steps going up to the third floor, bathroom to the right, Dylan's room to the wall. And that's a beer pong game. And that's that same picture again. And then this is again the picture in Xana's room. And that's another picture in Xana's room. And it's so blurry we can't tell what's happening. This is the door to Madison Mogan's room. And there's 2 blood droplets there. And I don't think that's a blood droplet there. And then you see those same 2 blood droplets right there on the door. And that shows you that is her room. And those are Madison Mogan's, like, I don't know if they're Doc Martens or what they are, but those shoes, the jeans, and she and Kaylee were found on this bed over here to the left. And don't know where this droplet's from. There's no way to really determine. Hands on the window, stairs going up again. I think that's a different, yeah, that's it. And this one's a little bit better photograph of the living room. You can see there's a cup on the ground there. I mean, maybe, they barely nudged the table, but then how come all of the cups at the end are perfectly situated? And by the way, it's an optical illusion for people to think that you had to sneak through that little space there. You see the little stands of the table? Those actually hit the ground somewhere like over here where my mouse is. So there's probably 2 or 3 feet or so from there to there, and it's easy to get by on both sides. The way it looks, though, oh my God, you'd have to sneak by, and that's just not the way it is. This is just an optical illusion. It's back at least 2 feet from there, and you can just walk by. Now you would think, though, chasing somebody, you would hammer the table and crap would fall all over the place. This beer bottle wouldn't be standing. That was the kitchen, and this is Murphy. And this is actually what it looks like in Madison's room, and Kaylee and Madison are likely just off to the side here, underneath this bed apparently. So they were like completely still sleeping and trying to fight. Underneath the sheets. How crazy. Yes, this was a newer image that showed more. I mean, look down there. You can definitely see a lot of blood here, all over this. It almost like, she was trying to get out and he just kept attacking her. Somebody claimed that these are actually knife shots through the, through the wall. I mean, that one looks like, a possibility, but it just seems really unlikely. I think it's just blood that looks like that. Hey, thanks Mark Willis and Justin Motocross 1995. And so this is Dylan in Xana's room, and see, we see the little furry chair, the oval shaped rug in the room, and that's the door. And when you open that door, it hits a wall right there to your right. You can even see the edge. See right there? That's the wall corner, that little tiny piece that shows up in the image right there. Looks like maybe even molding or something. And so this is one, that is the rug that we just looked at. So if you take a look at that and look at this right here, see that rug right there is this thing. And then this right here is blood in the room. I mean, just a massive amount. Where everybody else's blood drained into the beds, Xana Kernodle's blood all drained out onto the floor next to that rug. All right, the rest of it you can't see. There's blood in pooling up on beds and stuff, but This is the time where it's actually on the floor, and there's nowhere for it to go really except right there. Let me see if I can find that better shot. Yeah, this one maybe. Let's see. But you can see the pause right there, right? Look at that. I mean, you can definitely see Murphy in there, right? The nose, his two eyes, there's his feet. I don't know, this might even be one of his paws right there, to be honest. I was wondering about that earlier. Might not be, but could be. You know? But anyways, if it's not, these definitely two here are his feet, and then there's Murphy just looking at them underneath the desk. And that's exactly where they said that they found it. You know, poor guy. I mean, Jesus, he's probably scared to death. Well, if you get too much, then you can't say. You always get these people that do shit like this. Now look at this. Now you can see that there's yellow mustard on his nose, so you know, I'm wondering if he went into the kitchen at some point. And look at that. He bought a whole bottle of it with him because there's yellow over here, too. Yeah, it's not yellow mustard. It's just, you know. Well, that's what people do on social media. They take the picture and start drawing diagrams on it. And it's amazing how many people believe that stuff, you know. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, how long have I been on there? Oh, 3 hours and 17 minutes. That went by pretty quick. Hey, thanks, Ryan Thomas. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that, and even Bill Thompson said that. So, man, how much stuff was wrong in these books and documentaries, Zozo? I think it's like, it's almost ludicrous. Can you guys hit that like button for me, though? My God, we should be at 1,000 for sure. So let's hit that like button right now. And a 10, 20, hit that like button. 30. Do I hear 40, 45, 50, hit that like button. 60, 65, 65, no, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Hit that like button. Use your nose, use your toes, whatever blows. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. It's the easiest damn thing to do in the world. All right, there we go. Yeah, just hit it once, though, right? I mean, Gray, you told me to hit it again. Yeah, so anyways, the books and the documentaries, my God, what a load of crap, a lot of the stuff that was said in those. I do wonder, though, if like the FBI has more information on the social media angle than law enforcement does, because they already could make the case without having to need that, so perhaps they had a backup plan there in case things failed. Yeah, let's hope. I read the Amazon documentary. Isn't good. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Which one was the Amazon the last one that came out? Yeah, there's just blood all over the place in that room. She's just right in the center of the room. Like this shot right there. She's right there on the floor. I think that skin tone is her there. Hard to say, though. These guys seem like they went out of their way to hide the body positions. And then, like, Xana's just south of this. I don't even know where that little chair is now. Well, remember there was also like an ottoman type chair thing? Not an ottoman. What are those things? Because I think they're called that. That little black one that's in the picture. Not this one. This one right here. See that one? That's what I thought he may have sat in, but I don't even see that in the picture. However, we do see this one in the pictures. And which one is that again? That's the one. Is it this one? Yeah, right there. See, there it is. And there is blood on that, you know. That is that seat. Looks like there's blood on it. I don't know if they're talking about that one. You know, maybe that's the one they're talking about right there. See, that's actually a different photo, isn't it? That is a different picture. I didn't realize that. So that's like two different photos right there. That's a different angle. There's that fuzzy seat, and there's that one. So notice how they blurred out the image. This one they didn't. So they're really just blurring out the blood that's right here on that. And there's I think there's a mirror right over here in the corner. Yeah, I think the Amazon one was pretty good because that one was just about the family members, mainly. I thought that was pretty good. I actually thought that was the best of all of them, even though I didn't get into... Like, I thought Datelines was cool for what we thought was new information, but it turns out a lot of it was bogus. And then and we got to see that surveillance footage. But I thought Amazon's was pretty good, just... Like you felt like you got to know the people better. That's right. What was in the mirror, right? That's right. That's right. I think that's what we figured out earlier. Yeah, that's right. There was a reflection, and then whatever's right over here would be showing up in there. But yeah, so that's the little fuzzy chair that has some blood on it, though. I'm not sure why they didn't blur it out in this one. Well, I guess you're right. They're blurring out what's in the reflection of the body. Probably Xana on the ground over there. Thanks, Justin Motocross. What annoys me is law enforcement making statements like, there's no connection versus we couldn't find a connection because he deleted it. Right. Right. Exactly. And the same thing in the Delphi. Well, the Delphi case, they say they couldn't find a connection between Keegan Kline and Richard Allen, but I think there is one somewhere. I just don't believe in that random coincidence like that. Yeah, so that room... But I think overall, I think most people are kind of surprised that there isn't blood all over the place in the hallways, etc. But in the rooms, sure, it's obviously worse, you know, not worse than people thought, but really bad in there. In the rooms, for sure. Yeah, it's just I'm not sure what bag you're talking about. But yeah, there was a bag there that had blood on it. I saw it earlier. But man, you guys, I think I'm about burnt out today. I did the whole video I had to make earlier, then I did this live stream, and tired. But if you guys see any new images out there, because I'm sure they're going to put more out, make sure to send me an email or send me an email of where they're at. Don't screenshot them yourself. Just send me the email of where I can see them, because I like to have the clearest version possible. Okay, is that cool? Anyways, thank you guys very much for... by the way, let me donate 5 memberships myself tonight. Here we go. So whoever was here and wanted one, and there we go. We had 29 prior. Now we have 34 total gifted memberships tonight. I remember Leon Littlejohn. He gifted memberships, like a ton of memberships, but he just kind of disappeared one time. Right, that's what we said, Tim. Yeah, we already said that. I just said a minute ago that all the blood, 3 of them are in beds, and that's where their blood is, and the most of it, I mean, you can see right here, there's a ton of blood here, but that's, like Xana is likely, like most of this stuff, the blood here. I don't remember T. I've been focused on something else. Yeah. If you want to send it to me again, that'd be great. But that's not what we're talking about. But great. And thanks CR for the Cash App. And then we had Wendy Woobles with the coffee, and the only other coffee was from the coffee queen herself, Lisa Valenzuela. Good night, Teo. Anyways, when we do these shows, the way I talk and go back and forth, I just try to cut through the stuff. I don't like having a bunch of weird comments and stuff. When people are talking about, "Ooh, look at the drugs! They were doing drugs" or whatever. I don't have time for it because it has nothing to do with the case. It's just Kohberger's the killer, so we got to focus in on what he was doing and that kind of thing. Well, Gray, maybe that. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. All right. Thank you to Mystic Cauldron, Mary C., Alley Cake, Bridget, Andrea, and Curly Lock Diva all gifted memberships early on. And then we had Kim, Not Your Cup of Tea. Then Roger Sellers. Kim, Not Your Cup of Tea again. She really donated a lot tonight. Then Tammy McDonald, Karen, and then Kim, Not Your Cup of Tea did a cat eye donation. Then Dale Galileo, right? And then we have T. Ree, gifted a membership. Then Jules 333 and Cuckoo. Yeah, the whole thing on who cares about the clock, Why did they change the clock? They didn't. The clock says what it says for some other reason other than something nefarious. Now, you probably saw somebody point that out on one of the wacko troll channels and you believed it. Cuckoo, and then Jeannie Gallego gifted 1, and then Kim, Not Your Cup of Tea gifted 5 again. And then Monty Vermillion, then Ms. Music Mama, Michelle H., then La Belle V, and CR gifted 5. She's the membership gifting queen. Then Jennifer Ewing, Monica Reeves, then Kim, Not Your Cup of Tea, did another cat eye. So she did 150 or something. And then we have It's a Crying Shame, and Cherry Boo, and Michelle H., and Dixie Hippie, and CR, and then Alley Cake, and then Techie Demolitions, Mustang Sally, Leslie Thomas, Lanky Tor gifted 5. Then we had Tumbleweed with a cat eye, and then a name from the past. Brown Eyed Girl came in with another cat eye. Then Norma Elizabeth, Candalee Woodward Stone, 47 months, almost 4 years. Dana Dane showed up. 58 months. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, 58 months. What is that? That's like almost 5 years. Richard Watts. Then we have Deidre Gambrel, Justin Motocross, and then Justin Motocross again, and then N Mac, Mustang Sally. I'm never donating again, you bastard. Boo! Justin, that's what she wrote. Justin X 1995, Marcia S. Love your channel. Thanks for the time you put in for the freaks. And then RTRY, right y'all, or something like that. Yeah, right, something. New member. And then this account, then we had Jules 33, new member. DJ Gambrel, gifted one. Then Mark Willis with a cat eye. He said he got to hit Lake Oswego. And then Kira Kimmers, and Mark Willis was a cat eye. Yeah. Then Kimmers, Justin Motocross 1995, MM Justin Motocross gifted a membership. Then Mark Willis gifted one. Then Ryan Thomas, Justin Motocross, and then I gifted 5 right at the end. All right. It makes me laugh every time I watch my own videos saying the same thing. But anyways, I want to say thanks to everybody, making a successful day and night, and got another show tomorrow to do. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys. Very cool, and hopefully we get more of the information out there. I guess even like autopsy descriptions are coming out. I don't think they should release any actual like photographs of people, you know. I don't know. I just want to see. You know what I'd love to see is them put out a diagram. They almost always draw a diagram of how people were in the rooms. I want to see that. That would be great. That's all I need to see. And then, you know, you can do the blurry images, but let's see more images in the room. Right. All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys very much for being here. Really appreciate it. You know, you guys are awesome. We do have the trolls that show up all the time, and they like to try to throw me off. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I wish it didn't ever, but they always show up and try to do that. They say certain specific things every single time. Right, I don't need to see that either. Alright. But anyways, I hope you guys thought the show was fun or interesting at least. You know, I try to make it fun too by, you know, changing the topic for a minute here and there. But thanks for being here. Alright. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Yep. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Thanks for your generosity, everybody. That was cool. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
Well, there's
And during
Lori
this whole
Daybell.
time, I have not seen one person.
That's Lori Daybell?
That is
Yeah, you know it's Lori Daybell.
crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grego's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector,
and I'm always gonna be a punk protector. Hey, Ashley Snow, what's going on?
And I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector
On his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember,
I've a temple fucking
Jack Show. I have no agenda, I'm no agenda.
and I'll
Send it to you straight without a wonder.
And in the end, I'm
gonna send ya
on a mission to reveal
Reveal
the
to
true offender.
offender.
All right, everybody. Talk to you.
You know what we don't have anymore, you guys, is nobody says what's their birthday anymore for Mary Lou to sing happy birthday. You ever notice that? Like, what happened to that? Nobody ever says, "Oh, it's my birthday" or whatever, and there's got to be somebody's birthday in here right now, right? But nobody does it, okay? No, you just I'm not going to save it. You just have to say it's your birthday. But
Yeah, you know what? I haven't sang happy birthday for a long time, Gray.
I know, that's what I was just saying, Mary Lou. Jesus.
I know, I was just repeating what you said.
But people always do that. I say something on the show, and then they say it in the comments in the chat 2 minutes later.
Wow.
No, it's not your birthday, Ashy Snow. No, not a chance in hell. Come on, give me a break. How in the hell could it be your birthday today? Jesus. Seriously? Who else's birthday is it today? Anybody else? So it's just randomly Ashy Snow's birthday today. Come on. Oh, man. No, it's not. It's not Justin Motocross. Read it like a friend said it. Read it like a friend. Okay, no, but I would like her to sing. Okay, well, there you go. See? There's nobody's birthday out here. But sing it anyways, Mary Lou. Let's see what you can come up with.
Why would I sing it to nobody? That's stupid.
No, but we just need you to practice again. It's been so long. Just sing it to whosever birthday it is.
What the hell does that mean?
Just do it.
Okay, alright, let me try. La 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 la.
What are you doing?
I'm just warming up my voice.
Oh my God, look at this diva now.
Alright, here we go. Happy birthday to whosever birthday it is. Happy birthday to whosever birthday it is. Happy birthday to whosever birthday it is. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Shut up, John Boy.
Well, you suck, Mary Lou.
I did not. It was really good.
Actually, Mary Lou, that was absolutely god-awful. And there's a reason you should probably be singing a little more often so that you sound a little bit less, what do you call it, shrill as you sounded tonight.
What are you talking about, Gray?
Well, you went, happy birthday! You know, it was like the weirdest scream.
I didn't sound like that at all. Come on, people, tell them that. I didn't sound like that, right?
You did, Mary Lou. It was terrible.
Gosh, Gray, that is... that isn't very nice, Gray. That isn't very nice at all.
Well, I wasn't trying to be nice. You sounded terrible. So whosever birthday it was, I think they went home crying after you sang it. You know, normally when you sing happy birthday to somebody, they get uplifted, they're happy. You sent them home crying because your voice was so bad that it would even make a baby cry that was happily sucking on a sucker.
That isn't very nice, Gray. God, you're so mean to me. Don't tell me everything of time. I'm never watching again.
Are you okay, Mary Lou? Jesus.
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, good night, everybody.
Ah, she did it to me again, you guys. I thought she was actually crying, but she was just tricking me again. And you notice how she did a little callback and used the statement of, I'm never watching it again, and then cried. I should have caught on right then, but I didn't. Oh, Jesus, that Mary Lou, I tell you what. All right, thanks, everybody. See you guys later. Be safe out there.
Good night, everybody. Jay.
God, I remember that. Now I do have a smile on my face, Mary Lou.
Good, thanks.
All right, see you guys later. Woo!